Welcome to
Right.
Ultimate Fight Plan. Today I've got Mo with me. Guest Mo. How you doing, Mo?
All good, thank you very much. Jimmy. How's you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for agreeing to come on. I appreciate it.
Oh no, anytime. There's very few people in this world that appreciate kung fu movies. I think. I mean, so, I mean,
Are you one of them?
I'm definitely one. I'm definitely one. I appreciate kung fu movies from God since about 10 years old, I think.
Oh, okay. So you're starting with your story straight off the bat,
Oh,
are you?
sorry, Jim.
No, you don't need to apologise. I love it. I love it. You're straight in there with a story. But wait a minute.
That's right.
Wait a minute. I want your story, but hang
Mm-hmm.
on. I
Go.
just want to sort of just let people know why I know you, because I haven't known you for that long, and I
Yep.
know you go to those kung fu cinema screenings.
Yep. I
But
do.
even though you've been to some and I've been to some, it doesn't mean I know everyone there, and I don't, and I didn't know you either. So we didn't chat at those screenings. Then I saw you at Peter's birthday party and
Yes.
recognized your face from those screenings. And obviously, because it was a little bit more condensed,
Yeah.
we would dash together, which means we
Yeah.
done the chats, and I love the chats, so it was
Oh,
easy for me.
I love kung fu chats.
Right, well, there you go. Well, I do other chats as well, but the Kung Fu chats is definitely my favorite. But I just
Okay.
done chats to you, didn't I? Right, because we had a little chat at Peter's thing.
Yeah.
So, oh, by the way, thanks very much, Peter, for inviting us to your birthday. It was brilliant,
Definitely.
and
It was a good night.
yeah, and it got people together, didn't it? It got me and you together, and it's the
Definitely.
reason you're here, isn't it? Really.
Yep. It is. Yeah, definitely.
And what did we do at Peter? Did you have some of his grub? I think you
No,
did it all
I
the
didn't.
chat about, oh, I'm trying to cut back and all that crap.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. It's not working. I don't know why.
What, the
So,
cutting back?
well, losing the weight, I think is not working. I'm trying as much as I can, but I think shift work kills the appetite sometimes, or just destroys the diet.
So what you're saying to me is you should have just had the grub when you were there.
I should have done. I should have
Right.
done. It
Yeah.
smelled lovely as well.
It was brilliant. I had it. I had the grub.
Yeah.
I think it was his, might have
He's-
been his
he's-
brother-in-law,
It
Michael.
was it was his brother-in-law.
Okay. Well, this
Yeah.
lovely fella, Michael, I mean, he was so nice, so polite. I mean, he was lovely. He said to me, we've got this, and this. What would you like? And I just said, everything. So I got a mixture of everything, and it was all lovely. And we watched Three Evil Masters, weren't it? Or
It was
The
three
Master.
evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
The master, three evil masters, Chen Quan Tai.
Yeah, brilliant one. Good
Yeah.
one.
It was a good one. Pity he died, but
Who did? Oh, in it?
yeah, Chen Quan Tai, yeah.
Right. Yeah, but in the film, right?
So I don't know, I'm still alive.
Still going, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, it is a pity. But you know what? While we're quickly on that film, do you remember we were discussing it at the time? And one of the things, because you mentioned there, it's a pity that he got done in that film.
Yeah.
And we were chatting about it, and I'd said to you that I love that film a lot. I mean, it's a brilliant film,
Oh,
but
excellent movie.
it is excellent, yeah. But it annoyed me, didn't it? Because he gets stabbed
Yeah.
and injured,
Yeah.
basically. And from that point on, which is from the beginning, him as a martial arts, as a fights bloke in that
Yeah.
film, he's compromised. And that's the only thing that really wound me up about that film. It's like, I don't want it. So he'd do some amazing stuff, and then it'd be,
Yeah.
oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that annoyed me.
Yeah, it did. And I'd have liked to seen him shine in that movie. I know, yeah, it just seemed to be that was the reason they're beating him is because he was injured. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Maybe
It was
that's the point, though. If otherwise he'd have just been too good. And as you say, he's sort of like an old veteran. And then we had Yun Duck. He's the bloke, sort of star of that film, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, held him
oh,
back.
they did hold him, but they did hold him back. And I just think Chen Kuan Tai personally, I think he just holds so much screen charisma. He tends to steal the show a lot for me. So
Same.
yeah,
One of the best. Yeah.
he's in one of my all-time favorites. I love Iron Monkey. Probably a bit more of a nostalgia because it was the first kung fu movie I ever watched.
Oh, whoa. Right. That's what an intro. Hang on, bro. Hang on. So that's where I sort of That's where I met you properly. I'd
Yeah,
seen you in some of the photos. I better not hold my boot up
yeah,
because I've only got pants on here. So hold on, I won't do that. It ain't
yeah,
because I can't hold my boot up. It's because
yeah.
of the pants, right? But
Right.
I've seen you in the photos, holding your boot out and all that, showing off in the photos and everything. Everyone's just doing the shapes, and then your leg comes up 10 foot in the air. I've seen that, right? So I I knew of you, but I didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because we'd met at Peter's birthday,
Yes.
then after when I saw you, we could obviously converse and chat, and you kindly agreed to come on and talk kung fu's. But we had a great chat that day, and I kept saying to you, just stop with
Just,
these chats.
yeah.
Let's
Stop. Yeah.
save them. Yeah.
Savor it for a better time.
Yeah, well, that's the idea anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. But I just wanted to say to you, brilliant. I really appreciate it. I absolutely loved when I chatted to you. I was like, this guy, it's just like talking to the same spirit and essence of myself. The things that excite me, the things I love, you loved as well. You even told me you like Italian stuff and all. So
Yeah.
yeah, it
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
blew my mind, really. Yeah.
I suppose to a degree, I'm a bit of a movie buff. Obviously, I sway more to the kung fu, but I love the older Italian crime thrillers. Were they
Same.
good? Yeah, spaghetti westerns. I just feel the directors back then just had a style where they just capture you, not so much with special effects. I think they just dealt with what they had, and it just made the movie, the tension and everything. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's it. And once you have that, it's when you see other stuff, it sort of pales in comparison, doesn't it? Or you get a style that
always,
like, that gels with you, then you see other things, and it's not quite the same feel, is it? Not
no,
you can't like other stuff. It just doesn't have the same feel.
no, it doesn't have the same feel at all. It doesn't have the, so maybe back then they had more passion for filming stuff. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's just the love for the genre they were involved in. Do you know what I mean? So
It's a
same,
weird one, right? Because that's the impression I get. Although if you look back and you'll look at these films and you'd go sort of low budget
yeah,
and films that are not frowned upon, but especially Chinese films,
yeah,
chop sock crap. And
yeah,
then if you watch them, you look at the effort that goes into them, and it's unbelievable the effort that goes into them. Not with everything, like you say,
yeah,
with the director, with the choreographer, even the music they choose, as well as obviously the performers and the actors who are performing the incredible feats that we see. When we
yeah,
see that stuff, to us, we look at that and go, "Is this supposed to be some sort of low budget crap?" Same as the
yeah,
spaghettis, they
yeah,
were taking them out. But I really do feel the passion, and I've never really understood why they put that much effort in, especially when we know that you go to the Hollywood films where they've got loads of money, loads of resources,
yeah.
but you don't get there's no soul. There's no soul in it.
Yeah, yeah. Is it partly that somebody they don't have the passion for it anymore? It's just they get a script, they get the money, and it's just like a job to them. There's no love in what they do. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
you take the kung fu greats. Do you know what I mean? You've got Bruce Lee, Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan. Yeah, you mean they always demanded 100%. I mean, you hear stories about them doing like 100 takes just to get the
mm,
one scene done. Do you know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
flawless to a degree. Do you know what I mean? And you can't help but love that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's impossible to look at it and ignore, like you say, the amount of effort and passion that's
Yeah.
gone into it. They really were striving for excellence, as you say. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, for sure.
I think they were striving for excellence, and I think because I'm going to go with Hong Kong cinema anyway, generally, because you had such a huge talent pool, they all had to up their game. You know what I mean? They
Good
were
point.
all they were all thriving for that role. Do you know what I mean? You look at loads. There's loads of martial arts or kung fu actors that then you thought, why didn't he get more of a chance? Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
The talent pool was just so huge. You look at the Shaw Brothers studios. How many people just saw in the background? You think, well, he's excellent. His shapes were brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Why isn't
yeah,
he the star? Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them things, I suppose. It's yeah, just the love and the skill level. You mean you look at them take, especially when it comes to the weapons, how close they get to each other, and you think, could anybody now do that in reality, or would they just go towards the special effects and just sort of make it look like it got close?
well,
Do
I'm
you-
not seeing it now. Let's put it that way.
No,
I'm
no, no, not at
certainly
all.
not seeing it. But you bring up a good point about people competing against each other, so rivalry. So
Yeah,
even we take those two top studios, so Golden Harvest
yeah,
and Shaw Brothers, you can just imagine, can't you, that say when Pops Lalgullen brings out a
yeah,
film, you
yeah.
can imagine then say Samo seeing it and going, damn it. And I've got to try and mash this up. I've got to try and make a good Hungar Wong Fei Hung film
Yeah.
or whatever it is. You know, you can tell that there's something going on there where, as you say, the cream rises to the top and they
Uh,
just keep up in their game each time.
always
That's
up in the game.
definitely
And like with Pops and Samo, what I love about them, and they're probably two of my favorite directors generally, is that
mm,
is that whoever the star of the movie is, they don't mind taking a little step back and just getting the best out of them. Do you know what I mean? You look at all the stars that have been. Did Gordon Liu look any better than under Pops? Did personal opinion? I think Jackie Chan always looks great under Sammo Hung. Do you know what I
mhm.
mean? Yuen Biao. Do you know what I mean? Look at Beardy. Do you mean
Yeah,
Beardy just under Samo, the victim? One of the best end fight sequences ever for me. Do you know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
you,
powerful.
I can watch that over and over again. Do you know what I mean? It's
It's
just
got
such a
everything in
great
it.
sequence. It has,
It's got passionate stuff.
yeah,
It's got sorrow and love
yeah,
and anger and revenge. It's just got everything. It's brilliant. Yeah,
yeah.
agreed.
And if
A
you
lot of
look at the
emotion in
film,
that one.
a lot of emotion. Even if you look at, I think Samo took such a backseat because he didn't really do too much in the movie per se. Do you
Agreed.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And he just let Beardy and Chang Yi, who's also one of my, he's a great bad guy as well. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he just let them go at it. I mean, you've got Wilson Tong as well. The fight between Beardy and Wilson Tong, the foot doctor. They call him the foot doctor.
That's what they call him. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was such a great movie for me. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and I can watch that end sequence over and over again. And if, I mean, maybe just a bit of the nerd in me, I count the amount of moves they do before they cut. Do you know what I mean? You think,
Nice.
you mean,
Yeah.
you reach about 13 and like you kind of compare it to a modern day movie. It's like 1 or 2 minutes movies and it gets cut. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, those guys were fantastic. I mean, one camera, let's do a take, bang, 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 bang. And you're like, that it's to a degree, I suppose those are our superheroes. Do you know what I mean? They don't, their superpower was Kung Fu. They didn't fly, they didn't nothing, but they're just a sheer ability and the shapes and the styles. Do you know what I mean? You sit back and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? You think, wow, do you know what I mean? It's,
Agreed.
yeah,
Totally what done it for me. The real life superheroes, they took over from comic book superheroes for me. In my mind, I went, this is totally different from this comic book fantasy stuff.
yeah,
I'm seeing real superheroes on the screen. To
yeah.
me, that's what it was. It's real.
Oh,
And to be fair, looking back, it is real because the times that I'm talking about were the no special effects, really, the
yeah,
no wires. To me,
yeah.
it was real superheroes. These guys were literally performing, all this stuff in front of our eyes. Brilliant.
Yeah, and as a kid, you'd watch these uh these actors, Jackie, Samo, Yun Biao, Huang Jiangli, and you try and emulate the moves. Do you know what I mean? Because it was possible for you to do so, and you could be. I can also be a hero. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was never able to, I mean, how far did you, now we're on that subject, how far did you get with simulating the moves? Because there was things that I wanted to do. So I practiced the animal styles and the training in the sequences and stuff like that. But, I could never do any acrobats, even like a flick up. I know my bro ended up
yeah,
doing the old,
yeah,
to the feet. He could end up doing it. But even at my fittest and
yeah,
strongest, so
yeah,
years and years later, 30 years later, I went, right, I'm much fitter and stronger now. I've been training loads. Let me try and work up towards that.
yeah,
I still couldn't do it. So no acrobats for
yeah.
me.
The best I could probably do is a cartwheel, but
Oh, cartwheel. Yeah, I did do cartwheel. Yeah, not
that's the
one-handed,
best.
but yeah,
Yeah,
cartwheel. A good
yeah.
one.
The
Yeah.
best I could do is a cartwheel. And I think more to with me because I was a huge boot, loved the boot work. Huang Jiangli was one of my favorites. So, I got into Taekwondo, tried to emulate all these kicks. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
So it was more to do with that. Do you know what I mean? I just loved the boot work. And I suppose anything that came up with Huang Jiangli, it could be the lowest of budget ones. And the movie was absolute horrid, but fast forward to a fight scene just with him in it. And it was elevate everything. Do you know what I mean? So,
I know. I don't understand that. Some of these films, I look at them and go, "Why are these fights still amazing? Why did he?" I don't know how much he was getting paid for this. Probably pittance. Yet the
Yeah,
fights and the choreography is still brilliant, still amazing. I can
yeah.
understand it sometimes.
I think the thing with Hong Kong cinema as well back then, they didn't mind actually hitting each other sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you sort of, I've read a few articles where they said if they did get hit, it wasn't a cut. You still continued. Do you know what I mean? So
Well, you've
unless
got
the
to keep
person,
that shot in there, right?
well, it's all about money, innit? No, if we cut, it's costing us money. Just continue. We'll cut it later on. Do you know what I mean?
You
So
can't waste the film or anything. Yeah.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's I think that era of kung fu, and even probably that era of cinema generally, I don't think we'll ever get back.
No, we
Yeah,
won't.
yeah,
But before we go to that, because we won't, because we can move on to what the current films are like. But
mm,
I don't want to forget. See, my brain will forget, and I'm already starting to forget. So I want to talk to you about Samo
yeah,
giving people the shine, giving
yeah,
people the lead, and then I also want to bring up what you said about Taekwondo because I think that's quite interesting as well. So Sammo Hung, let's go with some of the people that you say he gave the limelight to, because
yeah,
that guy was the best, as you say, at doing that. So it's good to
yeah,
highlight that because you are right. This guy is very, very capable. And obviously, in his prime, he was more than capable. But once he became a good filmmaker, he got people in and made them brilliant. Casanova Wong, for me, is a prime example. I mean, to be honest, I love that guy in everything. I think he's
yeah.
brilliant. But look at the how good he is when Samo lets him do his thing, you know?
Look, most definitely, Casanova won.
Well, boot,
Take
right?
take take boot work. Love his boot work, and he's just phenomenal. And you know Sammo Hung had faith in him as he put him in. It was still early on in his career. And he put him as a lead star. Do you know what I mean? And
Mm,
he shone. Do you know what I mean? He mixed the Wing Chun with his boot work. Do you know what I mean? It's just
yes.
and
Yeah.
again with that Sammo Hung movie, the whole end fight sequence is phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? When once Banka takes the mask off and just shows his mantis style and takes the two guys on the Samurai Castle, just superb. Do you know what I mean? The choreography is spot on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and
Flawless, right?
Samo wasn't the hero. You know what I mean? He was a sidekick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Casanova, Beardy again in a victim. He's just for me. That's probably one of Beardy's best films.
Yeah.
And you also used Beardy as the master in Wing Chun as well. I mean, and
Right.
Warriors
So
too.
Warriors 2 is the film we're just talking about with
Yeah,
Casanova. And you're
yeah,
right, Beardy's in that as well.
yeah,
And I've never seen, I mean, that's like you say, at the time I thought this is a true Wing Chun master. He's playing a
yeah,
Wing Chun master. He was totally Wing Chun master. And
yeah,
with
yeah,
Casanova Wong, he had him
yeah,
in that film, a Wing Chun film, Warriors 2. And Casanova took this into
yeah,
loads of films later on.
yeah.
So
He
even
did,
things
he did.
like Avenging Boxer and that, he would be in that doing this. He'd always go bum ba bum ba bum boot bang. It's like
That was his pose. Yeah, yeah,
took
definitely,
it with
definitely.
him. He's not a Wing Chun fighter. I
No,
believe
he's
he's
not.
just a Taekwondo guy, right?
He's a Taekwondo guy. Yeah, yeah. I think he's from the same generation as Huang Jiang Li, Wang Ying Sik, and himself, Casanova Wong. The three Koreans I suppose they just run Hong Kong cinema for boot work. Really, I know you had a few others there, but those three are by far my best.
So
Do you know what I
your
mean?
best is Casanova.
Yeah, Wang Jiangli,
Yeah,
and I suppose Huang Yinsik as well. I liked him as
Wang
well.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Okay.
I mean, if we talk Huang Yinsik, that sequence with him in Young Master when they've
Oh,
taken when they uncuff him from the cart and he just
yeah.
pours the water over his head and he just decimates everybody. Do you know what I mean? It's uh, if I do when I do watch Young Master, I always kind of do a repeat of that scene about two or
Same.
three times. Then I continue the movie. Do you know what I mean? It's just awesome. You know what I mean? It's
Very cleverly done. Really violent. So he's a
yeah,
criminal, as you say. He's locked up.
yeah,
So he's a criminal, and then he has a fight with loads of blokes, the police
yeah,
basically, where he's escaping, and it's how a locked up criminal who's
yeah.
escaped would fight if he knew kung fu, right?
Of
Yeah,
course, of course,
yeah.
of course.
This guy's so good. Brown, 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 brown. Keeps looking, doesn't he? Keeps
Yeah,
doing that version with the music. Brown, brown.
it does.
Wicked directing like that.
Yeah, he's superb. And you mean him and Huang Zhangli? They just, you see them on the screen as bad guys, and you think, oh, this is going to be good. Do you know what I mean? You sit back, this is going to be good. Do you know what I mean? I want to see him kick some ass. Do you know what I mean? It's just,
He does do. And that is a good introduction scene because it's like what you were just saying about Samo giving people the space, the room to breathe.
yeah,
And that's what Jackie did with Hanging Sick in that, right? That scene is purely about that bloke.
of course it
It's
is. Of course it is. Do you know
amazing,
what I
isn't
mean?
it?
And also, I feel that a good director will always make the bad guy phenomenal. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
He has to be formidable. We have to see that. I suppose we have to feel that fear that he could take out the hero. Do you know what I mean? This guy's deadly. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
And it's true
you
though,
know,
they have to figure out how to
yeah,
get rid of the baddie. The baddie is generally much better than the hero.
definitely, yeah,
More like if they don't have better skill, which most of the time they do, they're normally older, so they have
yeah,
more experience in
yeah,
fighting. They've been in more fights because they love to have a smash up, right?
yeah.
And they're devious, they're evil, so they do
Yes,
dirty methods as well, right?
definitely do. And emotionless. They don't let their emotions get in the way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They don't. They're not going to go. Oh, I'll leave them alone now.
Yeah,
You're going to have to get away if if you want to come back later.
and
And if that
and
happens, they will say that to him and go, "I should
yeah,
have done you earlier, and now I've got to deal with you again. But it's no problem. I smashed you
and
in before. I'm going to smash you in again." But by that
and they
time, they've trained more, and they're the hero normally.
definitely, and they always got that secret technique that they use to kill all the other guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just,
exactly.
yeah. I mean, it's I suppose back in the day, I used to love that thing. The bad guy would turn up and he'd go dum 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 dum. And you just actually, yeah, I like that too. You know, I needed to hear that. Do you know what I mean?
They have their little bit of music, and that is the same
Yeah.
in the spaghettis, right? You'll
Yes.
get a bloke
Yes.
crop up and it'll have a little doo-doo-doo, like in the Tony
Yeah.
Anthony's, they have a little bit there, and it's the same Snake and Crane, when Camcon comes on.
Yeah.
It's that
Oh
bit
yeah.
of music. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So you know what I mean?
Love
It's they were masters of their craft back then. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
there's no doubt about it, man.
Do you know what
And
I mean?
that Wang and Sick fight in Young Master, the one where
Yeah.
he's escaped, it's got everything in it. He lets him do everything, right? So it's got some really good hand stuff. I know you'll remember it, but
Yeah.
it's got some really good hand stuff, some sharp knives that he
Yeah.
does in the guts and all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got
Definitely.
some locking, some sweeps,
Yeah.
some boom. It's got everything in it, isn't it? A bit of
Hey,
everything in
he was
it.
he's just a Wang is probably just a phenomenal martial artist anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think he's a Hapkido master, if I'm correct.
I
Do you know what
believe
I mean?
so, yeah.
Yeah, and I think even like Sammo Hung and Jackie Chan all hold him in quite high regard. So because I think they met each other on a set of Hapkido, if I believe correctly.
Okay.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, just I don't know. It's just the kung fu cinema. Yeah, I mean, kung fu cinema. Everybody's got a favorite film. Do you know what I mean? If you're in that genre,
Mm.
everyone's got a favorite film. Do you know what I mean? It's the only time you get into slight little debates is which do you think is better? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Some go Drunken Master, some go Snake and the Eagle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some go Prodigal
They're
Son, some
two.
go Warriors
Mm.
2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
compare, yeah. I mean, so it's one of
Perfect
them
ones to
things.
bring up, yeah. Drunken
Yeah,
and Snake, Prodigal and Warriors 2
yeah.
are the typical ones that people come up with, yeah.
Of course, yeah. I mean, see with me, I think Drunken Master was the pinnacle of kung fu cinema. It kind of set the tone. Do you know what I mean? You mean Jackie being the perfect hero, Wang Zhangli being the perfect villain. You know what I mean? Sam Seed being the perfect master. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do
And
know what you mean, yeah.
yeah, and the slapstick was brilliant in it. Do you know what I mean? And
Amazing.
you mean it's sometimes I watch films and I think to myself, what did I like and what didn't I like? What if I was a director, which I'm not by any means, what would I've changed differently? Do you know what I mean? And for me, I look at Drunken Master, and in all honesty, if I was to change one thing about it, is why did they take out the deleted scenes? Put them back in. That's it for
Yeah,
me. Do you know
brilliant.
what I
You
mean?
want more? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just one of them things. And you mean Jackie Chan just skyrocketed, and but also I think even though Jackie Chan skyrocketed, he got a lot of credit for the movie per se because he was a star. But people forget that it was Yen Wu Ping that started that motion. I mean, he was. I mean, you think about all the things he did before that with the low way movies. He was
Yeah,
box office garbage. Nobody
that's it.
wanted him. Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah,
So,
that's right.
yeah, and
They gave
then
got another opportunity there, didn't he? Yeah,
oh, he did, and he took it. He took it with both arms, legs.
yeah,
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
and
more than
you could.
capable, in his
Oh,
20s, young, fit, strong, at his peak. Yuen Woo-ping also
yeah,
probably at his peak back then. What is it, 1978?
yeah, yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, gave him a great vehicle. He would have seen something in Jackie, those low way
Yeah,
films.
yeah,
Yuen Woo-ping would have seen something, and Un
yeah,
Se-young as well, the producer. They would have seen something in him
yeah.
to say, look, this guy he will be able to do what we want in this film. He's capable. They would have seen that. You know?
You can't, I think, and possibly maybe Yen Wu Ping possibly saw the charisma because he hasn't been allowed to shine. This guy's
Mm,
got a charisma. Comes onto the screen, bang. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
You mean like there are talented martial artists that are so skillful, but when they hit the screen, you don't feel their presence. You know.
Would
Um,
you like to name one from back in the days that we
oh,
think
let me
about?
think.
Is there any that you can think of? It might not be, but is
No,
there
no,
any
no,
you
no.
can think of that have got all the ability in the world but just don't have the screen presence?
Oh, you know what? That's a hard one. I
Because
think everyone's screen, but you know what? I tell you what's his name? I think he was super skillful. I keep forgetting his name. The guy from Buddha's Fist, and the star of Buddha's Fist, and
what the what Choi Sil-ming, that guy,
yeah,
or Yun Sun-yi
Yoon Shin Yi, I think, the
is
star of
the
the
star.
movie.
He's the main
Yeah,
star of that film.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he was
the
also
ten
in
dancer Drunk Madness,
yeah, yeah. I think
and
he
the
was
baddie is Drunken Chi, who
yes,
kills the
yes.
rocking all.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I feel he was and bad guy in Dreadnought. I feel he's brilliant martial artist, and I think he plays a better bad guy than he does a hero.
agreed.
But
Yeah, yeah.
the skill level is superb. Do you know what I mean? In
Mm,
many occasions, you saw him double a lot of stars as well.
yes.
You know what I mean? But his charisma as a hero was lacking. Do you know what I mean? For me,
Yeah,
uh,
no, I think I agree with that. Yeah, because those films, those vehicles that he was in, which were done,
yeah,
films done by Yuen Woo-ping, done by
yeah,
the best,
yeah,
using one of his, I think it's his brother.
yeah. I
I
believe
think
so. Yeah,
I believe so as well. Don't want to
yeah,
talk out of turn, but I think
yeah,
so.
yeah,
Certainly one of the Yun clan, and
yeah,
you're right. He has that full starring role,
yeah,
and yeah, he don't quite unless he's that bad guy smashing
yeah,
building that rocking horse. You know what I mean? In
yeah.
Drunken Chi, yeah, that's different. But yeah, that's a really good
Or hearing the
example.
bells ring and going
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah,
Dreadnought.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
No, like I say,
Good example. Yeah.
yeah, skill level is superb. It just didn't. I don't think he had that star quality. Do you
Mm.
know what I mean? It's let's say, for example, um, had Jackie maybe stayed on with Yen Wu Ping and done Dance of the Drunken Man,
Would have been a different film, right?
it would
I
have been
mean,
a
it would
different
have
film.
just from having him there. Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
you see
Good
what I
point.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be the only thing I'd say. But I say that, but I love their movies. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
same. But
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it's not. You're not saying that they're crap. They're great
Yeah,
films,
yeah.
but you are right. There's just something lacking there.
Yeah,
Yeah, which
just,
isn't. It's certainly
just
not skill level.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's probably just that the hero charisma. As a bad guy, I loved him. Do you know? But the
same.
hero charisma, I just don't think he held a hero's role. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So when you compare it to like the likes of Beardy, Gordon Liu, Jackie, Yen
Yeah, Gordon's
Biao,
a
do you
good
know what I
one,
mean?
isn't it? Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? These people, they turn up on the screen, and think, yeah, they're good. Do you know what I mean? I like this. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
um, Yen Biao, bit of a he's a bit of an introvert, doesn't really want to be a star, but I would have loved to see him in so many more movies. Do you know what I mean? As a thing, you mean Knockabout, the skill level in that is just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? Prodigal Son again, you're like, wow. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose even talking like we said before with Sammo Hung giving people a chance to shine. I mean, obviously, Yen Biao was his younger brother and in the Peking Opera School. But I think the flip side of that is he also gave Lam Ching Yi a role. Do you know what I mean? I remember seeing Anthony in other movies, and he always had a little smaller minor role. But when I saw him in Prodigal Son, you had to step back and go, who is this guy? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you find, I mean? So,
Samo knows. He knows,
yeah,
right? He knows. He knows what we don't, and he shows you.
yeah,
Brilliant.
definitely.
Yeah.
And I say dance partners. I think Yen Biao and Lam Yin Chi, perfect dance partners. They're just they seem to understand the time. And look at even the Magnificent Butcher, that fight scene between Yen Biao and Lam Chi. Do
Yeah,
you get, yeah.
that's probably my favourite fight. That I think.
In the movie,
That,
yeah.
I
In the
think
movie,
so. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And
Love
I would
that
say
fight.
that, and in Prodigal Son, Lam Ching Yin when he's fighting on the bridge with the two henchmen,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
right.
follows, and follows,
And when he ends up with Frankie Chan, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that whole scene's my favorite. That favorite in the movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, this is the best.
And as much as I love Prodigal Son, and I don't really want to say anything bad of it, but because of that whole scene there, when I saw the end fight scene in Prodigal Son, I was like, oh, I just want a bit more. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah,
It's
no, I agree. We've always said that it's not only you, and we should always speak truths, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
so there's nothing wrong with saying there's things about Prodigal Son that we don't like, but that is
yeah,
a very cherished film. You know,
yeah,
Peter is known as Prodigal Peter. You know,
yeah.
that's his favorite film. He loves it. And listen, I love that film. You love that film, but
I
me and
do,
my
I do.
bro also felt like that at the time.
Yeah,
That last fight was a letdown for us. It was a bit too moderny, a bit too kickboxing
yeah,
style, especially
yes,
when you saw the,
yeah,
traditional,
yeah.
Buck May against
Back
the
my
Wing
yeah, back
Chun.
my style,
You know?
definitely.
Yeah,
If I was to do anything different, I would have made it more stylistic, more shapes in the
yes,
end fight scene, and
agreed. Yeah,
also so I would have started the end fight scene when Frankie Chan comes up and he finds out that Lam Ching Yi is alive again. That's where I would start the end fight scene, and
gotcha. Yeah,
he would have been fighting Frankie Chan, and then he would have maybe slightly got the better, and the two henchmen join in, and they sort of injure him, and then Yen Biao joins in, takes on the two henchmen, gets rid of them, and then takes on Frankie Chan. Do you know what I mean? That's
yeah,
how I would have. You know what I mean?
right.
So,
As good as Samo is, you've just
yeah.
made it better, right? In
Well, I mean,
principle.
yeah.
No, I love what you said earlier,
Mm,
where you said you look at a film and you make decisions as you're watching it of, oh,
mm,
I like this or I didn't like that, or damn it, why didn't they make it like this and like that? You know, especially in Hollywood films, it's always the same. They wouldn't behave like that. You
yeah,
wouldn't do that. And what did they fall over there? You
yeah,
wouldn't. You wouldn't turn the light off at that point. You'd turn the light on. You wouldn't open the door and have a look. You'd lock the door. Whatever it is, there's lots
yeah,
of things in those films where you question it. And Drunken Master, I couldn't agree more.
yeah.
There is nothing in that film that I question, not one
Not at
second.
all.
The
Not at all.
flow, the fights, the
Yeah,
choreography, the comedy, each scene, the way that it develops, everything about that film. I think you said it to me at the time when we went to the
mm.
screening the other day. You said it's kind of like the perfect kung fu film. I agree with that. I think it is as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It is, and I think it was a template. Do you know what I mean? After Drunken Master, how many? I suppose I don't want to say Jackie impersonators, but how many people that they kind of try to emulate what Jackie did? Do you know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
When he was supposed to be the new Bruce Lee and
yeah,
emulating Bruce Lee,
yeah,
it turns out that when he got the freedom to spread his wings and do his own thing, that
yeah.
people then started to emulate him. You know. So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course. You mean, and let's not deny the fact that Jackie is just skillful. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. The skill.
the skill level, and I think a lot of people underestimate even his weapons skills. I mean, you look at that scene in Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin, that whole
Mate,
beginning sequence of Jimmy, just
amazing.
him rolling the spear around his neck and flipping it up and
Yeah.
catching it, and
He does the
do you know
face
what I
when
mean?
he rolls it around.
Yeah, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Brilliant.
I
Everything, right? In that
yeah,
scene, all of it. When he does that and it comes back round, it's the
yeah.
stance. It stops there, bang. All the poses in it are brilliant. Everything. When he throws it over his head and he kicks it back over.
Oh
When
yeah,
he What about the bit where he swaps the sword and the tonfa with the blokes
yeah,
he's fighting? Ba-bum, ba-bum, swaps it back and then gives it back. And Oh,
And,
mate.
and if you look at that whole sequence, it's probably one of the longest intros I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But you could it's like sometimes I just think, just sit back and just watch that whole sequence on its own. I don't even sometimes watch the movie, just to sit back and appreciate Jackie's skill level.
That
Do you know what I mean?
is such an amazing showcase for that guy's skill.
Oh,
You know,
so,
he's got lots on his own, and then it's
yeah,
got a little scene with the two blokes. So you get a bit of choreography, but you get him just displaying his skill on his own. Do you remember the front flip he does? And it's
yes,
so tight. He's right close to the floor.
yeah,
Bang, and he just lands it with his feet right into a squat, and then
yeah. No,
brilliant. Brum,
yeah,
brum.
yeah. And that's probably why he's surpassed most Hong Kong actors. Do you know what I mean? He's just a skill, and he knows how to sell himself as well. Do you know what I mean?
He definitely is a businessman for sure. Yeah, he
Definitely
knows.
busy.
He knows.
I mean, and I would have liked to see him in more shapes. Do you know what I mean? You see certain movies, you think, oh, that would have been ideal for Jackie. That would have been. You mean you had the emulators? You mean Conan Lee would have been one. He's also one of my that Ninja and the Dragon's Den.
One of the best. Love it. Great
Yeah,
film. Yeah, Sonata. Brilliant.
yeah. I expected more from Conan Lee. Thought he was going to go to become another Hong Kong star. Never
Agreed.
quite happened for him.
Yeah, I
Billy
mean, he had
Chong.
it all, right? He had the looks, he had the bod, he had
Yeah,
the
he
tongue.
did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But
I think they've
apparently
done a
his
restore.
Cantonese wasn't that great. Apparently, so I don't know.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. No, I don't
Yeah,
know.
he was
Really?
American. He was American born, wasn't he? So he's born in America.
An
So
ABC, they call them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
do you mean
But,
Billy Chong was another one? Do you know what I mean?
oh, yeah.
Crystal
Great.
Fists. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
That's
wish
probably
he'd done more.
probably another movie where I think I wouldn't change much about that movie at all either. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
Crystal Fiddle or Jake or whatever you know it as. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, J. Claw over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
great.
think of Billy Chong when he first is the blind and deaf man. Do you know what I mean? Just an excellent fight scene. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
he
even the
makes
end
him
fight.
blind and deaf, right?
Yeah.
He
Well,
doesn't
yeah.
he calls the blindness and the deafness. Yeah. Eyes out and
Yeah, well, yeah, he made the deaf one blind and the blind one deaf.
it's just mad, mate. But
Yeah,
that guy, he's wicked at everything as well, right? Brilliant claws, brilliant
yeah,
fist, brilliant
yeah.
boot, brilliant shapes, brilliant kickboxing. Don't remember seeing him do many weapons, but
No, I think the only thing he'd occasionally have a pole, do something with a pole, and that's about it, really. So
yeah, he's great,
yeah,
man. Really
but
good.
it's like stars like that. Let's say Conan Lee and Billy Chong. What would they have been like under Sammo Hung?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. Those guys, wait now, they're like wasted, if you like. What could they have been? How much
yes,
more could they have? Everything they've done is brilliant, but
mm,
like you say, they could have been in so much more stuff and utilized.
definitely. Like I say, probably like you said, the pay probably wasn't that great, so they just kept on churning out films that weren't great or didn't have the time or didn't have the budget or even the director. Do you know what I mean? You know, some people, uh, I think maybe producers, they hire directors that don't really understand the fight scene, how to hold a camera to get a fight scene. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
correct.
you see some stars. You mean, I suppose even some of the top stars from the Shaw Brothers studios when they went to independent studios after the demise of the Shaw Brothers studios, they never quite was the same. Do you know what I mean? You got some really poor films. Oh, geez, why did he do that for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's true though, because you hold them in such high regard
yeah,
because they're in like a very expensive, lavish studio with
yeah,
with loads of sets and every single bit of equipment and weaponry and whatever tables, teacups, costumes, everything, right? Lighting, everything
yeah,
was top qual, everything. So the choreographers, the martial arts instructors on there,
yeah,
everything would have been top qual. And then sometimes, yeah, you see them outside of there and go,
yeah.
"Oh, what's happened?"
But
Still like it, yeah.
then what it is, they knew it was a martial arts movie, so the priority was the fight scenes.
Mm,
If it
mm,
takes us 3 weeks to get this fight scene right, we're going to take 3 weeks to get it right.
yeah,
Whereas, like, you mean probably the lesser budget ones, you've only got 2 weeks to do the whole movie. Do you know what I mean? Let's
yeah,
just do what we can. Do you know what I mean? And even to a degree, it's only probably now that Hollywood are realizing that time needs to be spent on fight choreography. Do you mean you hear about these stars that pop up in Hollywood movies and do fight? yeah, you got a day to do the fight scene or 2 days to do the fight scene. You mean you never get that on a Jackie movie. You never get it on a Sammo movie. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or Jet Li movie, Donnie Yen movie. It's just like, no, we need to sort this out. This needs to be run. Do you know what I mean? That technique's not looking right. We need to do it again till it gets right. Do you know what I mean?
That's
And
where all the effort goes,
yeah,
into those scenes, and you can tell. But that's why we like things like Drunken Master so much,
yeah,
because it is so well written. You know, the scenes, the characters,
yeah.
and the comedy is all brilliant ideas. You know,
Oh,
don't get it wrong.
fantastic ideas. I mean, just we go back to Drunken Master again. The cheeky chap thinks he's
Mm.
really good at kung fu,
Yeah.
doesn't obey his
Well, he's
father.
quite good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
He's quite
quite
good.
good at kung
He's
fu,
quite
right? He
good. Yeah,
learned
but
from
he's
it's
not.
all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he has to still need to burst through that level to be a master, sort of thing. You know,
yeah.
he doesn't know that he got the talent to become someone. You know what I mean? And it's not until he
Yeah,
gets
it's not
beat up
important
by
to him. Yeah.
Huang Jiang Li. Do you know what I mean?
And he realizes, there's
Yeah.
levels to this game. Yeah.
Definitely, and Huang Jiang Li was brilliant in that movie. Do you know what I mean? How Wang Jiang is brilliant in most movies. Personally, do you know what I mean? It's like
Don't
when he
think
did
I've
that.
seen him crap or seen him where I go, he's rubbish in it.
Yeah,
I can't name you one.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
brilliant. He's just brilliant,
yeah.
isn't he? Yeah, that's it.
He
Did
is,
you
he is, he is.
Now you mentioned two people there, Huang Insik and Huang Jiangli. Did
Mm.
you meet them when they came over? Was you at those events
Um,
some time
I,
ago?
I came to the event, but I came on the wrong day for Huang Jiang Li. Do you know what I mean? So
Was that a Seni martial arts or was that
it
the
was, yeah,
strength show?
same
One of
martial
those
arts.
shows. That was
I was,
strength and combat show, I think.
yeah, I was there when Shannon Lee was there.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah,
see her there. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, and
You
there
missed
was a
him.
few. Huh?
You
Pardon?
missed that then. You
Yeah,
missed
I
Huang
did.
Jiangli.
You know what I mean? It was just one of them things. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, you can't be helped. Yeah.
and my friend, he went the next day and he took a picture next to him and then he sort of sent it to me. But why are you sending me this for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
he was trying to be your mate, but yeah, it was a bit of a touchy subject. That, yeah.
yeah, definitely. So
And Huang Insik, did you get to go to that one?
no, I didn't at all. Do you know what I mean? I would like to meet them both. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, he beat
um,
people up at that one though.
did he?
Yeah, there was like a seminar afterwards. So there was a seminar with Huang Jiangli that was
Yeah,
genuine, as in they took you away to a matted area
yeah,
and he taught you how to do a basic kick, really,
yeah,
literally, and it was brilliant. He did actually teach you this is how to get a good kick and the
yeah,
whole momentum behind it to make it powerful. So it was legit. But then Huang Insik was also supposed to have a
yeah.
seminar, and that weren't quite the same. We never got led away to any area. It was
Uh,
just in the same sort of bar area,
yeah,
and it was really funny, man, because me and my bro were there with our
yeah.
friend Brian,
All
and
right.
this guy said, "No, I ain't paying extra for the seminar, and being on display. I'll just sit and watch."
Yeah,
And me and my bro didn't really feel comfortable with doing those things as well, but we try and force ourselves to do everything that we can so we have no regrets. We try
all
our
right.
best. So we did it, and basically he didn't pay and we did. I remember him sitting back at the table.
Yeah,
Once we all sort of realized we ain't really going to get our money's worth here with this, he sat back with his super malt going, "Yeah, cheers, boys," and laughing his head off because it was literally just us standing up.
yeah,
And we was expecting him to teach us stuff, and he
yeah.
didn't. He didn't. He's actually going round bashing people on the head and hard and all because
Gee,
his whole premise was, why are you bothering doing all this stuff?
yeah,
What's the point? Someone gives you grief, bang, there you go, just do that. There's no point in all these techniques. But he seemed to have a disconnect with the fans and why we were there. We were there.
yeah,
You know why we were there. We were
yeah.
there
Of
because of
course.
those films. We only know him because of those films. And he seemed to have a disconnect there. He didn't bothered about that. He didn't care that we love those films. He was just like, what do you want to know then? What, you want to know how to do this and locks and Apkido and
Yeah.
boot and all that? Nah, I don't bother with things like that anymore. And he was going around just knocking people on the head. Weird. It was really weird with Brian laughing in the background with his supermalt funny.
Someone should have probably had a word with him. You're held in high regard here in the UK. Do you know what I mean? You're one of the top villains. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a shame. It's a shame when you meet people like that and you don't quite meet your expectations. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit.
Yeah, it was a bit like that with him. I
It's a bit
can't
of a
deny it.
dampener. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Listen, I'm really glad I went and everything, and I've got a shot with him, and
Yeah.
I cherish the experience. But yeah, there was something there where we were like, no, you don't understand. We want
Yeah.
this. Whereas,
Yeah.
Thunderfoot, Huang Jiang
Yeah.
Li, he knew,
Yeah.
he knew. He was very, 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 very connected to why we were there and what we liked about him. Because without those films that we used to watch, we wouldn't know who these people were.
Oh no, no, you know what I mean? It's how many times do you mean people? Some people call him Wang Jiang Li, some people call him Huang Jiang Li. You mean we knew like the Silver
Jing
Fox
Li,
from yeah,
yeah,
we knew
yeah,
from the
Silver
Silver
Fox,
Fox. Yeah, that's it. Do you know what I mean? So you're about to see the Silver Fox, yeah. So
yeah,
do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So, but yeah, but I mean, I hear he's a lovely chap anyway. So I would have loved to meet him. But I mean, he
He
used to
was mad.
kick quite hard on the sets as well. Sometimes he'll just let the kicks go. So,
Yeah, I've heard those stories. He just used to smash teeth out. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, someone
yeah. I think
asked him at that event. Someone asked him a question about Jackie and his
mm,
no teeth in Snake and
yeah,
Evil Shadow. Is it true that you booted his teeth out? I
mm,
can't remember the answer, but it
yeah.
weren't a yes or a no. There was no confirmation.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Which means
I don't know. You
probably
hear all the rumours that then they go, that's one of the reasons Jackie never used him again. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Do you know what I
that's
mean?
true. He was in Snake and Drunken, which isn't Jackie using them because they're not
Yeah.
Jackie's films, as such. But yeah, he wasn't in anything after
But
that. But
no,
yeah,
no, it wasn't.
Sick was in Young Master and Dragon Lord, right?
Yes, he was. He was. And you mean, you talk of them two movies, and I just, Wang In Sick is just phenomenal. He's just got screen presence as a bad guy, especially in
Amazing.
Dragon Lord when he's got the one blind eye and he just
Yeah,
looks menacing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
If I had one gripe about that movie, I think a few of the stars were underused in there. Do you know what I mean? He had opportunity, I think, to make a use of some of the bad guys there. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, do you
I
know?
know one of them.
Yeah, the
The man,
Korean guy.
with shaven, no hair, Kwon Young
Yeah, yeah,
Lee.
yeah,
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 he's
yeah.
in that film. He's bloody brilliant, and he's just don't do nothing really. One fight that I remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it wasn't
Jackie
even
Chan
much
paid
of
for
a
it.
fight,
Yeah.
really, was it?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Making
yeah,
him actually, I love that scene because it's showing that when you're in a fight,
yeah,
that the angry emotions won't work because Jack
no,
is trying to show off in front of the girl. So
yeah,
he's trying to be all playful and everything. And even though his martial arts is way below this nasty,
yeah,
evil man, his demeanor wins that
yeah,
fight. He ain't bothered. He's more bothered about looking cool in front of the girl. And this guy's
yeah.
going nuts. And Jackie's just sort of flipping around and dodging through things. And if you remember, he knocks the candles onto his
Yeah.
arms, makes him look like an idiot. It's brilliant. It's a good scene. Yeah.
No, so that do me. I mean, Jackie's a great director. Do you know what I mean? He obviously he might be experimenting with different styles and stuff. He was definitely more into the kung fu comedy as opposed to the style and the vicious kung fu movies that they say
Yeah.
from the Shaw Brothers sort of times. I mean, you look at the difference between some of the Shaw Brothers and the Golden Harvest sort of movies. Shaw Brothers weren't really comedy per se. Do you know what I mean? It was serious
Very,
fighting. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? And the Golden Harvest generation was more the kung fu comedy. So it just depending what mood you was in, is depending which one you'd prefer to watch. Do you know what I mean? I'm just thinking now. You got classic films like Heroes of the East.
Yeah.
Do you know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah. Good one. Yeah. Pops one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Brilliant.
yeah,
Gordon. Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
Little bit of
Drama.
comedy in the beginning, then it just went all serious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
every day he had to fight somebody. And I'm like, absolutely film. One of my favourite Gordon Liu films where he's got hair.
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually
yeah,
got Barnett in that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
Took me a while to get used to it.
yeah, it did me too, Jimmy. Especially when you look at 36 Chambers and do you know what I mean? Fist and Guts and you mean he always had shaven edge. You mean
Always. Yeah.
probably you mean one of my favourites is again is Eight Diagram Pole Fighter.
Yeah. It's up there for me.
It's up
One
there
of
for
my
me.
top films.
And
Yeah.
one person that you mean I just wish he'd done a lot more as well. I know he did loads anyway, but I just want him to more starring roles. Would have been what's his name? Philip Cove.
Yeah.
That whole scene.
He's the greatest. One of the most reliable
Yeah,
kung fu actors ever. Never
and,
crap. Always
and, and
brilliant.
and his shapes were brilliant. Do you know
Everything
what I mean?
brilliant. The
You know
best.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
one of the best. for sure.
Do you know what I mean? Definitely. Do you mean you look at that whole sequence when him and Gordon Liu are just in the temple and they're going with a pole. Do you know what I mean? You can't falter it. And then
It's one of my favorite fights, and it's a weapon fight. And I would
Yeah.
never have thought that I would have been a hands and boot.
yeah,
It's a pole fight, but that is you can see. Obviously, that's a Pops Lau
yeah. Of course, yeah.
film. You can see that whoever's making that film, and we know, right, that he's real at Kung, totally real at martial arts, totally real at Kung. Not only that, knows exactly how to make it look good on screen. It's that scene is something else, man. That is a real true, a fine example. You know, like someone will give you the Mona Lisa and go, "There's a fine piece of art there. That's the best art ever." And some people will understand it, and some people won't. That fight, I present you this. You know, that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's selling the fight, isn't it? Really, like we said, Pops, Sammo Hung, they get the best out of their fighters or stars. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
I mean,
sure.
And Philip Cole, you mean look at it, Shaolin Intruders played a bad guy, and I always thought he played a good bad guy as well. Do you know what I mean?
Always, yeah. Well, most of the time he was a bad guy because, like you say, he was generally not really the lead, right?
No,
Tiger Over Wall, he's the lead in that, but he's not.
He is.
He ain't the lead in most films. Yeah, he's
he's
normally a standout guy though.
Yeah, definitely. I think what's other films he was kind of the hero. The one he did with Beardy.
Two on the Road. Or
That's
Fearless
the one.
Dragons.
Yeah. Fearless Dragons. And didn't he also do one with John Chang as well? Two Wondrous Tigers.
Oh yeah, brilliant! I like that as well. That was another VPD vid I had. Didn't get rid of it. Yeah. Two Wondrous Tigers. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. I mean, John Chan also had his moments. Snake in the Monkey's Shadow.
Snake in the Monkeys, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a very good movie as well. Do you know what I mean? His attempt on Drunken Style as well. Do you know what I mean? But I think after
because at the time I'd watched Snake and Drunken, and then I had a lot of the people around me telling me, "Oh, you know, this one's brilliant. No, Snake in the Monkey's Shadow." And obviously, I got it at the vid shop.
Yeah.
It, and because I was so taken by those two Chan films, Snake, Drunken, when I first watched that, I went, "Nah, this is a poor man's version."
Yeah.
Right? Ponsham Shee's got a bit of a crap face. You know, he wasn't a good-looking lead, as in, you know, his face. You know, he's wicked, but you know, I looked at the face and went, "Well, he's got a bit of a crap face." And then I was looking at the snake going up the bark, and I did like the snake going up the bark. But then it had Master Whom from Snake in Shadow, so it had bits of those films, and that made it even more like a cut and paste, strung together, poor man's trying to make. We got to try and on the back of these two wicked films. And even the sounds, I went, you know, the snake sounds. I don't understand. They're so good in Snake and Evil Shadow. There's different tones, different versions, and they're amazing. But if I remember, in Snake and in Monkey Shadow, you could hear that it was a bloke going, shh, 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 you know. And so I was like, even the sounds ain't good. But it was only years later, not that many years, you know, it would have been a few years later, that when I matured as a person watching Kung Fu films, that I went, let me rewatch that, because now a lot of those people that are in this film, I've seen them in loads of other stuff now. Let me rewatch it. And I did think it was brilliant, but it came at the wrong time for me. It's too close to those other two.
You know, I think as time goes on, I hate to use it, we become a connoisseur of Kung Fu movies. You know what I mean? That's we're a connoisseur of Kung Fu movies. You know what I mean? You could have a Kung Fu movie and it could be terrible, but it might have that one scene that's just a standout scene. You think, you know what? That's why I watch Kung Fu movies, because they got that part right. Do you know what I mean?
It's now not terrible.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It's not a loss. You know, it's not a throwaway now, because there's some good things about it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of films out there. I mean, I think at the moment we're just touching the tip of the iceberg. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've concentrated on the main stars. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, what about people like Don Wong? Do you know what I mean? In stuff like Shaolin Iron Claws. Do you know what I mean? Secret Rivals. Do you know what I mean? And loads of films.
Real Life Policeman.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Battle Fist versus Fatal Needles.
Life, right? And then he's in Kung Fu films doing Eagle all the time. Brilliant.
Oh, he had a certain sense of charisma, and I think one of his best dance partners was Chang Yi. Anytime I saw
Yeah,
him and Chang Yi together, I'll be like, "Oh, this is going to be good." You know,
yeah, you
just
always know. Yeah,
yeah. Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? I'll be Lee Yi-min, another
yeah.
one.
I know.
He's
I
like,
didn't like him at the time either. So again, when I started watching his films,
yeah,
I was too engrossed in the whole Jackie Chan thing. I was young. The
yeah,
impact of those early Jackie Chan films, they was just so strong that everything had to live up to them. I do not feel like that now. I
mm,
don't have that opinion anymore.
yeah,
But back then, so when I saw Lee I Min, I went,
mm,
"Oh, he's trying to be Chan though.
yeah,
Saint Barnett, trying to be
yeah,
funny. So I never really caught on to him and went, he's brilliant. Now I think he's brilliant. But
yeah.
then I was like, "Nah, he's a poor Jackie Chan," you know?
Yeah, well, you know what it was back then. I think they all tried to emulate that movie. They all tried to emulate that
Yeah,
style. Do you know what I mean?
of
But
course.
at the end of the day, what it comes down to is like we spoke the other day. I go, when someone makes such an iconic movie, no one does it better. Do you mean like Jackie Chan in Drunken Style? Who's done it better? Nobody. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's the best snake you've ever seen, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I've
definitely,
never seen a
definitely.
better snake. Not in
Yeah, yeah.
anything.
No, no, you know, it's just one of the things. And the problem is, you're always going to be, no matter, you could be as twice as good as Jackie, but it'd always be compared to that movie.
Can't
Do you know
help
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't. And the same, I suppose, with Wing Chun movies. If you see a Wing
yeah,
Chun movie, you're going to compare it to Warriors 2, and you're going to compare it to Prodigal Son.
of
Do you know what I
course.
mean?
They're the benchmark.
They are. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose the same with, if you see a pole fighting movie, 8 Diagram Pole Fighter. Do you know what
Right?
I mean?
We've seen
It's the,
Shaolin Invincible Sticks. We've seen other pole
yeah,
films, and
yeah,
they ain't it. They
no.
ain't that. But you still like them,
Yeah,
still enjoy them, but they ain't that.
yeah. If I was to say one film that could compare to it for me, Odd Couple.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's another Samo. So yeah, all
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
so
that's a good weapons film.
that is, you know what I mean? So it's like, you mean, I sort of sit back and I think, I go to myself, no, 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, that's it for me. That's
Yeah,
the best. Like this. Then I sit back and think, you know what? I sit down and watch Odd Couple and go, no, it's Odd Couple for me. And this is like, it's just, they're both two great movies. Do you know
that's
what I
it.
mean? So,
And that's
and
the decision you need to end up coming to is go, well, I love both of them.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
do you mean it's like you're a collector, I'm a collector. How many kung fu movies do we own? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
we could go,
I've never counted, but there's quite a few.
yeah, I've not counted either, but it's like you could go through them and you think, you know what? I could watch any single one on any given day, and I think, you know what? I'm happy. Do you know what I mean?
That
That's the thing.
is the beauty of it. That's
That,
exactly right, mate. That's what
of
it gives us. It gives us that joy, that pleasure.
course, of
Yeah,
course. I
I
mean,
agree.
and then you had the generation after. That's why the Jet Li generation, the Donnie Yen generation. Even they were great. They were great. A little bit. Sometimes I didn't like the fact they used a bit of wire work in it, which disappointed me sometimes.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you
a
know what
bit
I mean?
too much of that going on in them.
Yeah. And I think they made a huge mistake because, as like we said, Jackie, Sam, or Yumbia, hardly any wire work, if any. I mean, if any at all. It was just sheer talent and sheer brute force, I suppose. If it takes you 100 times to fall off that bloody bench, you're going to fall 100 times off that bench. I mean, we need to
Yeah,
get it perfect. You
yeah,
know.
it's totally different. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That with the wiry stuff and all that was it's a shame because there's still good people in there. It's like Jet Li's very capable, you know, Shaolin
yeah,
Temple. Well, my favourite Shaolin Temple is number 3. That's the Pops directed one.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know, the one
yeah.
Pico directed
It,
with Shaw
it,
Brothers sound effects. So,
yeah.
you know, it's
It's
got a
it's
connection.
it's my favorite of the three, but Shaolin Temple One has my favorite scene in it,
Go on.
and it's the training sequence they call the Four Seasons.
Oh yeah, I mean that is very classy. Let's
You
call
know
it
what I
that.
mean? So just him training on the scenes all change. You know what I mean? So it's
That
one
is
of my
wicked.
favorite scenes ever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I've had loads of films. I'm trying to think what else. You mean another one? One I can watch all the time is Shaolin versus Lama.
It's one of my favourite films as well.
Do you know what I mean?
Again,
Apparently, it's one of my, apparently,
brilliant dubbing,
yeah,
brilliant script, brilliant
yeah,
voices, massive sound effects,
yeah,
spits coming out the mouth,
yeah,
sunburnt muscles
yeah.
fighting, dust, everything.
Everything's
Bloody
in it.
brilliant film.
I mean,
Brilliant.
if the rumors are true, apparently it's Mike Tyson's favorite kung fu movie as well. So
I mean, I can't. There'll be a lot of people that watch that, and that's it. That's the one,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that came
definitely.
way later, and
Yeah.
that was amazing. Buddha finger and all
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Buddha finger.
Amazing, that, isn't it?
And even the boot work in it was very good as well. Do you know what I mean?
Very
So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the dubbing was fantastic. I think one of my
Yes.
favorite. You know when the villain comes up to Alexander Lowry, goes, "Tell me where the girl is," and he goes, "I won't tell you." Blah blah. He goes, "Well, let me put the question another way," and just throws a sidekick straight at him.
I'll have to put the question another way.
Do you know what I mean? You think, oh,
put the question another way.
yeah,
straight in. Yeah,
it's brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
Miss
It's just
Sue, whatever it is, Miss Sue. What are you out so late? Enjoying the night air?
Miss Sue! Abbott, nice to see you. But what are you doing out so late? Enjoying the night air?
Yeah.
It's got loads in there.
It's like all the old school stuff. Love the dubbing, and I'll always watch it in that dub because it brings back a lot of nostalgia when I was a young kid going to the video store, and you could only get it in dub. There was no Chinese or anything language or subtitles.
Right.
But when they've redubbed stuff or the new dubbing, I just can't stand it. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Did you watch you haven't recently watched a redub, a new dubbing version of Drunken Master, have you?
Oh
yes.
Do you know what I mean?
That was a bloody letdown, that, wasn't it? Eh? Let's be honest.
It was a bit of a letdown. It was, but still thoroughly enjoyed watching Drunken Master on a big screen. Do you know what I mean? It's just sit back and chill. Do you know what I mean? With like-minded people cheering for the hero, laughing at the slapstick comedy. Do you know what I mean? So
we made the most of that because we all feared that it would be the wrong dubbing.
Yeah.
For us, it's the wrong dubbing.
Yeah.
And of course, when it started, instantly people that knew.
Yeah.
I know that anyone in my shoes wanted that film changed immediately, probably didn't want to sit and go through it, but then you just had to get over it and go, look, we ain't the only ones in here. That's the way I thought. There's going to be plenty of people in here who've never seen this film before.
Yeah.
And if in this dub will be normal for this will be their first experience of it.
Yeah.
So you can't be selfish. So I just went, look, just like you say, sit back and enjoy it. And I had a right laugh.
I know, same to me. And you got it's a right laugh. And what else? And just watching that choreography, the fight scenes. You think, you know what? Let me just blank out the dubbing, and I'll just sit back.
Even the dubbing on the fights was crap because it had crap shouts. You know, the shouting on it was crap. But like you say, you just had to. Well, look, we know that film, right?
Yeah,
we know that film like the back of our hands.
Yeah.
So we know what's coming, and we just had to, like you say, switch off from it and go, just forget it. It's still a great film.
Oh yeah, it's still like.
Even
great films are great. Yeah, great films are great films, no matter what. You know what I mean? So, like I said, if I was to change one thing, it would be all them deleted scenes, put them back in, and just let's do a director's cut of Drunken Master.
That'd be great. Now, from those deleted scenes, what is it that you know about them? Is it just stills that you've seen? Have you ever seen anything? I think there's one thing I've seen with training, with the bowl, the wine jar and the rope round.
Yeah.
Is that one?
Yeah, it looks like it was a deleted scene from the training sequence, and it's just a few stills I've seen, and I think it's just from the training sequences. You know what I mean? He was meant to do another form of one of the other gods, and also you know the scene where at the end where he sort of breaks Huang Leji's neck and he goes, that must have been a scene from a training sequence. You know what I mean? So
because he puts his hands round Thunderfoot's head and does this, and it shows him like bursting open I don't even know, like a wine jar full of sand or something. Yeah. I've always wondered what that is. Yeah, there you go. What's that?
Yeah. So it must have been in a training sequence. Do you know what I mean? But the issue, I suppose, back then is they never really took care of the film, did they? Do you know what I mean?
So you think that stuff's lost?
I think so. I think it's lost. I think it's lost.
You think if it was there, someone would have
got it by now. Do you know what I mean? Because they know. Let's not deny. If it was there, someone would have got it to make some money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't we know it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You know, you talk about. I suppose here's a one for you. I don't know whether you think the same as me, but Once Upon a Time in China 2. Donnie
That's
Yen
the Donnie
versus
Yen one with the rope
Jet Li.
pole.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So,
Okay.
like the
Yeah, I know.
movie, the only gripe I have is I've always wanted to see Jet Li and Donnie Yen do hand to hand.
Well, that's interesting because I remember seeing that at the cinema once. Maybe it was late night or something. I
Mm,
don't remember where, but I saw it at the cinema. And one of my things was Donnie didn't do enough boot in it. That's what I
yeah,
said after.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Ray Logan was in the vicinity at the
yeah.
time. And he said to me, or maybe I shouldn't say this, but anyway, whatever. He came over, he sort of done a little, you know why he don't do boot in the movie? Because it would have made Jet Li look bad, as in his
Yeah,
boot is better than Jet Li's. So
yeah.
that's why he weren't in there doing loads of boot or whatever. But yeah,
Mm.
that's what he said at the time. I thought, well, yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, because
It
it was a
kind
bit
of, yeah,
weird.
yeah. Actually, it's a pecking order, isn't it? I suppose. But I heard something similar when Donnie Yen was in Blade 2. He didn't
Okay,
really.
yeah.
I know he did the choreography, but he didn't do much in the movie. When asked why he didn't do much, he goes, "Because I would have probably." He sort of suggested that I would have outshone Wesley Snipes.
Well, I mean, now, now there you go. But that brings us back to what you said about Samo. Look at the
Yeah.
difference. Samo
Yes.
didn't care about being outshone. He was trying to make that person shine. To be fair to Donnie, so was he. Hence why he
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't do much in it because he would have been too good. But
Yeah.
and it was about Wesley Snipes, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there you go. Samo just makes these films as vehicles for others and puts his name on it, stamps his name on it. You know.
Oh, definitely. Do you know what I mean? And you mean I'm trying to think of a bad Sammo Hung movie really that he wasn't at the helm of. They're just all perfect. Do you know what I mean? It's you know, you look at Eastern Condors, you look at Magnificent Butcher, you look at he wasn't at the helm at Magnificent Butcher, but you look at Knockabout, you look at I don't know, just
Yeah,
Warriors,
they're
Prodigal.
all brilliant. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You sort of look at your collection and you think, I've got a lot of Sammo Hung here. I've got a lot of I've got a long beard, I've got a jacket. Do you know what I mean? It's me best Bruce Lee impersonator is Sammo Hung.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
Fat Dragon, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
and
mean that
Skinny
whole
Tiger Fatty Dragon, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
two, yeah, brilliant, true.
yeah. You know what I mean?
Very good.
So yeah, Sammo Hung's just. You mean is he the goat of kung fu cinema?
And in some ways, I would say, yeah. I mean, look, with things like that, it's a kind of a pointless.
Yeah,
I'd have the discussion, no problem, because it can be a fun discussion, but it's
yeah,
pointless because it's an individual, how the individual sees it,
yeah. That
So
most
your
definitely
goat
must.
isn't my goat, isn't so and
Yeah,
so's goat.
yeah,
Rodney's and Peter's and Tariq's will all be
yeah,
different to
yeah,
probably. Some might link
yeah,
up, but it's just, and it's also what you've seen, what you've been exposed to, what you grew up with.
yeah.
It gives very different opinions. I remember I did one of these podcasts which I haven't put out yet with a fella, and I spoke to him about what was the first Chan film you'd seen or whatever, and it
Mm,
was like Shanghai Noon or something like that. It's like, hey, nothing wrong with it, but
yeah,
for me, it was like that. Listen, I like Shanghai Noon. Didn't really like
yeah,
Shanghai Noon. I really liked Shanghai
mm,
Noon,
yeah,
and I'm big into Chan, right? So it
yeah,
must be good. However, I didn't really expect that to be a film that a youngster watched that made him Chan. Is
yeah.
it that good a Chan? Because it ain't the one that done it for me, Snake in the
No,
Eagles. That
yeah,
I know why that done that for me.
yeah,
Shanghai Noon, I think it was noon. I'm certain it weren't nights. But anyway,
yeah,
even that, I just was confused that that was good enough, and it was. That made him Chan, and that made him go back and watch all the others.
yeah. Or,
Because
I
they
suppose if you're
story
talking
a lot.
Chan, yeah, if you're talking Chan in America, for me, I'd probably agree that Shanghai Noon is probably the better one out of all these American
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, I
Do you know
liked
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So, and you mean just thinking about Jackie? Look at he even changed martial arts action when he came out with Police Story.
Oh, yeah, I
Do you know
know.
what I mean?
He
Do you know what I
moved
mean?
on. Golden Harvest early days, right? And he did
Yeah,
Young Master and Dragon Lord,
yeah,
and then he went into moderns. And look at
yeah,
what he created. Again, as you
yeah,
say, I
yeah,
don't know because we live in United Kingdom. We're not
yeah.
exposed to everything, so we don't really know. But from what we was exposed to, that was another benchmark to me.
Oh
That
yeah,
there was no moderns that could touch that. If you know what I mean, all
no,
moderns
no,
were now based on police story.
yes.
You know, everything,
So
the sounds,
yeah,
the intensity, the lot. It's the stunts.
trendsetter. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Trendsetter.
He was. Do you know what I mean? And and he's his talent for experimenting and upping the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sure that him and Samo probably always collaborated. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? You mean, like great directors do? Do you mean you hear about the likes of Spielberg and Lucas always bouncing ideas at each other? And I'm sure Jackie was the same, bouncing ideas off Sammo Hung. Sammo Hung was bouncing ideas off him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They both took a slightly different trajectory. Do you mean? I remember Sammo Hung, when he done the action, it was a bit more violent, a bit more beefy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mean you look at the? I mean, I suppose the film will never get released as Pantyhose Hero. What a brutal fight scene at the end of that movie.
Excellent film.
You know what I mean?
You think it won't get released because people can't handle the humour these days? Not politically correct. You think it's that kind of thing? I mean, it's a brilliant film. Funny.
It's a brilliant movie. I mean, Pedicab Driver, another one.
Masterpieces.
Yeah. I mean,
see, this we say, right? We go Police Story, the benchmark, and then you see Pedicab, and you go, well, that is
and
really good.
Yeah, it's such a good film. You even look at Sammo Hung and Pops. Do you mean in the gambling den?
Whole fight,
yeah. And then you got people like and Billy Chow versus Sammo Hung, just fantastic.
Incredible fight that. Power, all eating the rice, isn't it?
Yeah. It's such a and with his funny hairstyle and the parting in the middle.
Yeah, that's right. Whole haircut and a lumberjack shirt.
Yeah.
For many years, because I mean, I still am now, but I was even more portly back then when I was younger. And I decided that he was cool, right? Because obviously I loved the guy.
Yeah.
So I went, not going to do the braces, but I am going to get a pair of green chinos.
Yeah.
I am going to get some desert boots.
Yeah.
And I am going to get a lumberjack shirt. And for many years, that was my attire around my way. That's what I walked around like. And it was weird because kids of my age or young teenagers didn't wear shirts.
Yeah.
Right? And I went to there was a local store that me and my mum laugh at this shop even now. It was called Jay's. And the bloke in there was funny. The whole store was funny because you just, you get those shops in your area when you grew up as a kid and they just have that feel, that nostalgia thing. And Jay's Superstore was one of those places. It did workman's boots and those green bomber jackets, and it did lumberjack shirts, and it did DMs, but it also did workman stuff. It did all sorts of stuff, and it was sort of in trays, and he'd pull it out, and it was a little bit dusty in there. It was a wicked shop, and it had an amazing sign with a bloke. So the sign was wicked, like artwork. It went across the top like that. It's like a big T, really big across the building. And then down the T part, so at Jay's stores, and then down the T part was like this cool bloke leaning back with denims on, like a Marlboro man. The whole thing was cool. And I bought my lumberjack shirt from him. And, I ain't spoke. My mum took me in there to get it for me. And it ain't my age, ain't the sort of thing I'm supposed to be buying. But that's because of Sammo. So that's how much I was influenced. I was walking around like him. And the bod. Even the bod was the same. I didn't try to get his bod, though. Yeah. That just happened, actually. Yeah.
No, man. We did loads of it. I remember even there was a group of us as kids. We don't really see each other. I can't remember how it was. We'd watch a Kung Fu movie. And we'll go to the park and we'd emulate Snake Fist and Drunken Style and kicks. And we weren't. Well, I wouldn't want to say we were rough. We weren't rough with each other. We went for it. You'd literally try and snake fist somebody in their face.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, that's it. That's the influence. We weren't doing no harm.
No, wasn't at all. Do you know what I mean? So, and even back then when we was younger, there weren't many Kung Fu schools around at all. Do you know what I mean? So it was just like whatever you saw, you tried to emulate. Do you know what I mean? So it was either karate or something like along them lines. And you think, I don't want to do karate.
I mean, I was going to get into it. Then I looked at the time and went, I could save it. But that was going to be one of my subjects. Was Hwang Jeng Lee, Taekwondo, and the arts that were around at the time. But I'm going to save it, right? Because you can see that me and you can chat about this stuff all day long, and I'm happy to do it, right? But I'll save a few bits because look, we never even, and I always go with natural. I just go with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly happy that we never discussed as a standard thing of, oh, what's your favorite kung fu film,
Yeah.
even though it might be The Victim, but I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But it might be. But I'm saying we didn't even get into that.
No.
Remember, you started off with 10 years old and this, that, and the other. And I went, well, hold on, I want to talk about how we met, why you're on here, and stuff like that. So we've got plenty of things to cover. So I'm thinking we leave it as this episode, and then you come back on if you don't mind, and we have more
most
chat.
definitely, most definitely.
I love it, Mo. Look, this is the thing. What people, I mean, a lot of people that know us will realize this, so they'll know it's genuine. They'll know it's real. These are the kind of chats that we have. It just so happens I set this up, sent him a link, and pressed record and got a camera. I've forgotten about the camera. I don't care about the camera. I'm just chatting to you about the stuff that we love. It's just a normal chat to me, and this is how we would chat next to each other at that drunken screen. This is how we chatted, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know what? It's very hard to find people with the same interest. You know what I mean? And when you find someone like that, it's just bam, clicks. Do you know what I mean? It's like when we met at Peter's, his birthday party, right?
Yeah.
We got chatting. You kind of recognised me. I kind of recognised you. And then what did you say? You're the guy that does those cryptic clues. Do you know what I mean?
On that WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Cryptic clues, which no one knew what cryptic meant. Do you remember once I actually got the description or the definition of cryptic clue and copied and pasted it in there and went, this is what a cryptic clue is. Some people will know what we're talking about. Peter certainly will.
Yeah.
I didn't create it, but Mo and maybe a guy called Vinny maybe was on there.
I think I started the question, and then it kind of. The weird thing about it is, it wasn't intended to be an ongoing thing.
Well, I know, but I got involved. Yeah,
I just kept going on and on and on, and even Marlon was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, but it was boring, right? Because people made it boring and not interesting because you would put what Mo would do, he would put a picture out, and it would be a piece of artwork, maybe not even necessarily the original one from the film, just a piece of artwork of, say, I don't know, 3-5 people doing shapes, and then he would say, name the movie, and then some people would just literally go bang and name the movie.
Yeah.
And that means that if someone saw that 10 minutes later, the next day, the same evening, it was like, well, I've no point in me naming the movie because it's been named. So I came up with the idea of going, look, I think it was me, I don't remember, but of doing just not naming it, but giving a clue that proved that I knew it. Didn't name it. So that's what a cryptic clue is. And even though that became obvious, definitely between 3 of us, it became very obvious. Sure, it was me, you, and he's a guy called Vinny, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And we were doing chats like that, and all of us got on board with, obviously, if you sent a picture out, you couldn't, but we got on board with the whole cryptic clue. It's this, there's more than one chamber involved, or whatever it is, stupid cryptic clues that proved you knew it. And then you do those clues, 3 or 4 of them, and then you wouldn't have to keep doing the clues because now I've proved I know it. Now Mo has proved he knows it. And then someone would jump in and go 36 Chamber of Shaolin. It's like, no, wait, no. No. Good. I'm glad you know it. Brilliant. Thanks for answering the question. But no, cryptic clue. So we ended up stopping doing it, but that was fun for a bit.
It was. We'll try and revive it. I'll try and revive it. We'll see what happens.
I don't know if it's worth it on there, man.
Sometimes sometimes it goes off on a bit of a tangent on some of the conversations on there, but hey, it is what it is.
Van Damme and the Matrix.
If you're talking Van Damme, it has to be No Retreat, No Surrender, and that's it for me, really. You know what I mean?
It's a Corey Yun. It's a Nancy Young. It's Hong Kong people behind it. It's bloody brilliant, and he's brilliant in it, and it's a brilliant film.
I think he's never looked better. He's never. Anything he's done after that. Don't get me wrong, he definitely got the screen presence, the screen charisma. But in terms of fight choreography and what he could do, he never went beyond that. Do you know what I mean?
No, everything after that was terrible. He's got the bod, he's got the skills. There's no doubt about it. And I respect the Van Damme stuff now, but No Retreat, No Surrender was wicked. He was wicked in it. The sound effects were wicked in it. Choreography was brilliant. It was good.
Oh, it's a
Best
brilliant
Van
movie. Do you know what I mean? Hong Kong version of the Karate Kid.
Damme. Right. It's right though.
Yeah,
The best
yeah,
Van Damme film. That's his first film, ain't it?
yeah, yeah. It was his first film. That's what
Mm.
I mean. I suppose skyrocketed him into Hollywood. But had
Yeah.
he learned that the fact that he should have got Hong Kong fight choreographers in and sort of let them take control of his fight scenes, I think he would have been phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? But
Definitely, man. Definitely at that age, at his peak again.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, he was
definitely.
fantastic. Really, really good potential. Yeah, I want to. For us, it's wasted. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
had a really good career doing all
yeah,
these films that loads of people
mm,
like. But yeah, our experience of him was, hang on a minute, he's brilliant in this. As a matter of fact, I only really thought he was brilliant in that after I saw how crap he was in everything else. Then I went, hang on a minute, he was actually good in this. Yeah. But we were young and we were
yes,
also learning what the Hong Kong thing was about. So we'd seen Cynthia Rothrock and then we'd
yeah,
see China O'Brien and go,
yeah,
but I've seen her in
yeah.
these
In
films. Why in this film? You know, why in
well,
Righting Wrongs Above the Law is she amazing, and why in this is it just
yeah.
crap? You know?
Well, you say righting wrongs. I remember watching it as Above the Law
Yeah, yeah,
on a
yeah,
VHS tape. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And she's another phenomenal martial artist. Do you know what I mean? You look at
yeah, amazing.
Sammo Hung and her in Millionaires Express.
Yep, yep. There you go,
Do you know what I
Samo
mean?
again.
Do you know what I mean?
She's in that. What is it? Karate,
Yeah,
Hikaru Shima, Thunderfoot, Huang Zhang
yeah,
Li's in it as well.
yeah, 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 yep, yep.
Yeah,
That was the cast in Millionaires Express was phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? But there was
yeah.
so much talent in it that you think, why isn't he doing something? Why isn't he doing something? Why isn't he doing
Really,
something?
yeah,
You know what I mean? You look at even like Yen Biao and Dick Wei, they bounce off each other phenomenally. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, do you know what I mean? Like I say, I always want to see more of Yen Biao. I think because he didn't like to be in front of the camera, didn't like to be the star per se. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
But his talent, do you know what I mean? You see, in his boot walk is very, is I'm not going to say underrated. I'm going to say hasn't been shouted about enough. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Because it's not exploited because um he's not a boot bloke, if you like.
Yeah,
He's kind of an everything bloke. He's like
yeah,
he's acrobats, but a lot of this stuff we see him more than we even realise because
yeah,
some of the things we're seeing on screen are him, and it's not meant to be him. He's
yeah,
doubling people. So yeah, he's you know, he's amazingly capable. I think I don't know this for sure, but I think some of that foot doctor footwork stuff in The Victim might be.
yeah. But I think so. He
Yeah, I mean,
was
I
he
don't like those things, so I'll just stick to this Wilson song. I'm all good with it, but
yeah.
I think
I think it comes out to the point where who did the NBL not double?
that's yeah. Well, there you
Do you know
go.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah,
He's
I
so
mean,
multi-talented, yeah.
just such a phenomenal martial artist. Do you know what I mean? And, I mean, even Sammo Hung states that he's the best of us three. Do you know what I mean? He sees
Right.
something and he can emulate it near enough there and then. Do you know what I mean? Whereas he goes, me and Jackie, we see something, we kind of train it a little bit and then we get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he gets it
So,
straight away. Hence
yeah,
why, probably saving time and money, why it was just like, "You're having trouble with these foot movements, are you?
yeah, yeah,
Yun, get in here. This is
yeah.
what I want you to do. Bang, done. Shoot it, bosh, gone."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's the way.
I think he even doubled Frankie Chan in Prodigal Son. Didn't he? So,
Well, you know, we don't
I know, but it's just,
maybe he didn't. Who knows? Yeah, but
yeah,
it doesn't ruin it for us because they're getting the best shots. They're getting
yeah,
the best. Look, we just said that's the best. We said
yeah,
those fights are the best, right?
yeah,
And we know
definitely,
what
definitely,
you see. You know what I mean by that is there's always a bit where I don't know, not really beyond the capabilities of someone, but they're not going to stand around and learn how to do I don't know a 360 cyclone kick.
yeah,
You know, but I sometimes think with those things. I mean, I know the bits you're talking about, and
yeah,
sometimes think of those things. Well, Frankie Chan was good without that boot. The
yeah,
fighting was wicked without that boot. So how about Samo? You just drop that kick, just leave
yeah,
it, leave that out of it, and just put
mm.
something else in. We'll have Frankie Chan all the way. However, some of those bits are iconic, and they're
Oh,
part of the flow of the fight is amazing.
yeah.
So
Well, it's like we said before. Sometimes the fight scenes in the middle of the movies are the best, and the letdown is like I mean,
Can be.
even in some of the Shaw Brothers classics, the same. Some of the middle fight scenes were so good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you just think, oh, why couldn't they get that in the end as well?
Well,
You know
the
what I
end
mean?
of Drunken Master ain't the best fight in it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't think it is.
it's still a very good fight scene. Yeah,
Hang on, we've called that the perfect kung fu
yeah,
film.
yeah,
Please
yeah,
don't think that I'm saying anything other than
yeah,
that's one of the that is my number one film.
yeah.
But you know, it's still not the best fight in it. You know, you'd
Oh
think
no, most definitely.
one would be.
But the whole film just like I say, it's the number one
Everything.
film.
There's nothing. Yeah.
There's nothing that I got forward. I mean, it's like you got what's his name? I think he's fantastic, but he always has he never really has a starring role. He was the master in Thundering Mantis and Buddhist Assassinator, and he's got a scene in Lion versus Lion. What's his name? Sang Chin? Yut Sang Chin, I think.
Oh,
Is it Yut
there's
Sang
sort of,
Chin?
is he sort of the little bloke with a squinty up face and all that? He's in Kung
Yes,
Fu versus Shogun and all that. I
yeah.
never remember this fella's name.
I'm sure it's something like Sang Ying or something like that. But he's such a talent, and you know, you look at that fight scene with in Lion versus Lion where he's trying to get the document, and he's just
Yeah.
just him and
Yeah, no, he is wicked.
he was Sammo Hung's partner when they were fighting blindfolded and cheating. Do you know what I mean?
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I
What
mean?
is his name? Anyway, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
He's very good.
Really.
He's very, he done a lot of doubling as well, apparently. So do you know what I mean? Very good
Yeah.
weapons, phenomenal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also,
Excellent skills by all
yeah,
these
and
people. But you need
you
it.
got
You need it on set. That's why these films are so amazing. That's why they're so good, because
mm.
everyone involved is so talented.
and I think also everyone's so talented, but also I think that they all wanted to give 100%. If you didn't give 100%, you're like, no, clear off. We don't want you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to give it your all. Give it your best. You know.
That's it. Do you know what I mean? The talent pool was so phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, you're not going to get that ever again. Do you mean now?
Well, that's right.
It's like now you look at martial arts movies. Now it's usually actors that have been trained up.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so, and you can tell. You can tell. That's why probably the likes of Donnie Yen are still thriving, because they're still young enough to do all the moves, because there's nobody out there that can sort of compete with them.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, and he's real at films as well. So
yeah,
you need all the ingredients. So as you say, you've got to have the performer. But if you've got the performer, the person who's capable to do the skills that you want them to do, you then need somebody else. As you said, you called him a dance partner earlier.
yeah,
You need somebody else, maybe 2, 3, 4 people. You need the baddie. You need someone else, and with good charisma as well and good skills. Now they need to be able to gel together and work together and have the right kind of rhythm together. And then you've got to have the person who does whatever it is, the camera work, the editing. And then you need someone to go, right, well, these need brilliant sound effects on it. Even that stuff, the detail in the sound effects. So, 8 diagram pole fighters, some of just one example of a film that I know you've seen. But the bit where Yun Tae why Ying Hung turns up on that horse and he's the waiter at the inn, and he gets out this big golden blade, and at first it's got a cloth on it, on the blade, and it's got cloth noises when he spins it around, and then it comes off, and now it's got and made it golden, not normal blade, golden blade noise. It's a different noise. And then there's a bit where she grabs it off and scrapes it along the floor, and sparks come up, and those noises are brilliant. All those sounds, someone cared as much as Pops, who made it look amazing. Someone else, when I don't know who those people are, I'd love to know when I'm going to make this sound as good as you make it look. When you get that, it's the best thing ever, because we've seen it plenty of times where you get the wicked look, a wicked fight, brilliant choreography, and crap sounds ruin it.
Yes, most definitely.
Have it all.
And possibly with Shaw Brothers as well. When I say I take Shaw Brothers, and maybe you can't go on Haas. I think they made a habit of, we need the best of the best here. Do you know what I mean? If you don't make the cut, I'm sorry. See you later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the top everything. The top costume designer. Look at some of the costumes.
It's costumes, the set designs.
Everything.
Do you know what I mean?
Barnett's the lot, everything.
And sometimes I think what's happening now, people are overcomplicating things. You know what I mean? I've read a few articles where they talk about fight choreography, especially on the Hong Kong stage or the Chinese stage. Is they film the whole fight scene in one camera. That's it. And then they take a look at the fight scene and they think, okay, we're going to reshoot just this section here because we want a close up. Do you know what I mean? Whereas in America, they have multiple camera angles and they're filming, like, got four or five cameras filming the same fight scene. And then they give it to an editor who decides what goes in and what doesn't go in. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, you know what? You're right about that, because Nathan, he's a guy I've had on here a few times. Who loves Drunken Master. That's also his favorite film. He loves kung fu films. We can, he can chat like this, no problem. And he now makes films as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes I sort of give him the impression of, well, hang on, you into real kung, so what happened here? And he said, well, my job was to do what they asked me to do, was to choreograph that fight. He said, after that, I don't know what's going to happen in the editing room and the sounds. He said, I don't know. Somebody else did that.
That's the problem. And that's where probably the likes of the Pops, Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, they sit in the editing room and they go, this is what I want. They might not edit. I don't know if they edit or don't edit, but they might go to they give the editor a brief. Yeah, Chan. You know what I mean? They give or a brief. This is what we want. This is what it has to be. You know my style. Do you know what I mean?
I bet they check it. I bet they sign it off. Chan said he used to do everything all the way to the poster. They'd actually get a poster and he'd go, yes, the poster. That's fine as well. The poster's good enough. All the way down to that last thing. And that's what he should be like. But even he ran out of time. If you remember, there was a period where he said, I think it might have been Armor of God, cost money. It might have been Armor of God 2. Anyway, directed it, screenplay, wrote it, in it, choreographed it. And he just said, I ain't got time for this anymore. There's too many things I want to do. And the film after that, he started to give up to other directors and stuff. But he started to, I don't want to say churn stuff out like they were crap, but they definitely lost the whole Chan element. But he said, I've got to, because I can't, otherwise it's one film a year.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for one film a year. And it makes sense.
Well, could that have been more the producers or the people backing him? Because in all fairness, if Jackie did one film a year and it was a fantastic film,
that's what it used to be like for us.
I mean,
that's what we preferred. That's what we wanted. But he understandably wanted to do more things, and they was too time consuming and too big budget heavy and all that. So I understand, but we lost the qual. Really.
We lost a lot. And just a personal opinion. Also, I think we lost a bit of Jackie when he had the accident in Armor of God 1.
I think so.
Do you know what I mean?
It's understandable, right? It would take considering that accident, what he did after that is astounding, I'm going to say, what he managed to do after that. But you can imagine that's going to knock confidence, and it's got to, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. And I think even then, I think that was a bit of a wake-up call from him as well, that he always wanted his own crew. Because he always sort of says I think it was a Yugoslavian cameraman. He goes, he saw me coming and he moved out the way. He goes, had it been a Hong Kong cameraman, he would have thrown the camera away and caught me. So I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So and you look at it like when he does the Hollywood stuff, his hands are quite tied because he goes, there's only so much I can do. I'm just a star. That's it. Do you know what I mean? He goes, I can't do most of my stunts. I can't do because of insurance purposes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's just true, though. It's like with everything. It's like, I know that Brett Ratner said with Rush Hour, and Chan was saying to him, what is this you're asking me to do? And he'd say, it's funny. Just say it. And he said after time, he didn't know what he was saying, but Ratner would say to him, just say it. It's funny. And he'd say it, and then all the crew would laugh, and he'd go, I have no idea what I just said, but apparently it's funny. So, there you go. So, like you say, it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. I suppose with the Rush Hours, I think they slightly got an essence of Jackie Chan. The same with the Shanghai Noon, as opposed to when he went over there and he did the Protector and Battle Creek Brawl. They just didn't get Jackie back then. Do you know what I mean?
Now it's funny. That reminds me that I can't remember, because I have chats with loads of people. I can't remember who said it. I think it might have been Sid from Cool Movie Graham. Maybe it was you, Sid. If it was him, then fair enough. And apologies if it weren't, but I don't know. But someone told me, I think it was him because we were chatting about Protector at the time. And apparently that Police Story was his answer to the Protector. He made me make a crap pop film.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go to Hong Kong and make a real
one.
Here's my version of the Protector.
Yeah. He proved them wrong, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was Sid that told me that. But yeah, I mean, that's brilliant, right? And there you go. Look at the difference. Look at the difference.
When you have control and you understand what I suppose he understood his audience and he understood the style. Do you know what I mean? You hear a lot of things that happen now, especially when it comes to producers, where they go, people are funding movies but don't understand the subject matter. You know what I mean? And they're blocking on. We want to do this. No. I think that sounds silly. They do it, and they have too much influence over what the director wants to do or what the star wants to do. Do you know what I mean? We keep going on about Jackie, Samo. You mean Pops? Do you mean Chang? You mean? Yeah, they were the best of the best. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
And they just churned out film after film. You can remember, in the young days, you'd hear about a Jackie film or a Samo film or a Shaw Brothers movie. You'd run down to the rental place. You think, are you going to get this movie? Yeah, give us a couple of weeks. We should be getting in. And you'd rush down there again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you mean, of course it was. And you've got to remember, we had to wait for films back then.
That's right.
Now, with the power of the internet, you can order a film you like from the States or from Hong Kong, and you'll get it within a couple of weeks. Do you know what I mean?
It's not as exciting, isn't it? It was interesting, hunting around, finding stuff. I preferred it. Same with everything. Same with video games as well. The same with that. It's just, it was better then. You got more pleasure out of it.
It was better then, and what would happen is, I don't know, I'm sure with your friends, you'd all take turns in hiring out the movie, and you'd meet up in the park or something. What did you think of the Jackie movie? Wheels on Meals, Benny the Jet and Jackie. Damn, Jimmy, did you see when he done the spinning hill kick and all the candles went out? Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
it's brilliant. Go on, Wheels on Meals. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Most of the time, you were the ones renting the stuff out. My mum's friend worked in a video shop round the corner. We were renting out, buying the X rentals. We were doing the booting, and people would be on our doorstep. Some people were brilliant, and I have fond memories of them. The people on the doorstep, and others were on the doorstep just for the cungs, and don't have fondest memories of them. They were a bit rubbish. But there you go. That's part of growing up and learning stuff and whatever, and mixing and dealing with lots of different people. But they knew where to come for the cungs. That's for sure.
Oh, definitely, Jimmy. I'm thinking back in the day. I used to go to a shop in Seven Sisters. He was a rental place. That was about a good 20 minutes to half an hour walk to get there. I used to go to. Then I found out about Toby Russell and Rick Baker up in Camden. I used to go down there. Then obviously they went into the Eastern Heroes, and they had the shop out in Piccadilly Circus that way.
Avenue. That's right.
Do you know what I mean? And then you used to find out like certain markets. Somebody used to sell a kung fu movie, and you go down there and see if he had something that you never had in your collection.
I remember Chris Alexis bringing out those big yellow box, Shaolin Chastity Kung Fu, Shaolin versus Lama.
Yeah.
I remember the other one. I think there was 3 of them at the time. 3 Alexander Low Ray films.
I think that one was Shaolin versus Ninja.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah.
I think so. I think it was a 3 of them. Yeah. So
that's where I got Lama and went, oof. This is the thing, right? Then, of course, we're mentioning Jackie, Samo, Pops, whatever. Of course we are. But look at Lama, like you said, it's one of your favourite films. That's not anything to do with those guys. So Nam, I think, is the director of that one. We love that film. We love Low Ray. It's all of that stuff. So there's loads of things like Chang Che, all the Venom stuff. There's so many of these people that we love, but they came later. There was no exposure to them to start with.
Yeah, but it's like you used to say, back in the day. You mean you usually get the Kung Fu Blues? They haven't released stuff in a long time. What's going on like this? And
I was okay with that because I'd just carry on watching what I had. I love the stuff so much.
I always,
over and over again. Yeah.
Always did. But you just think, oh, is something new coming out? Because used to get the old kung fu magazines. And think, oh, why have we got that over here? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes we did have it over here, but it was under a different name because in the States they called it something else.
They're always different, weren't they? I think always. The American names were always different. Yeah.
It's like even on the Drunken Master showing, I think Tariq, I believe it was you, but I can't remember. But we was talking about Prodigal Son, and we both went used to go. I remember renting Prodigal Son, but it wasn't called Prodigal Son. It was called Pull No Punches.
Pull No Punches. Yes, I had a version where it actually came up at the beginning on the credits. It came Pull No Punches. Yeah, I remember.
I think was that not under Paragon Films or something like that? It was called.
It was burnt in. Paragon 1980 was burnt in at the bottom of mine.
Yeah.
It was on there through the whole film, I believe. I think so. I don't think
I think you're correct. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you just like, you think, you mean, some people tell you this movie's like, you mean Heroes of the East, Shaolin Challenges Ninja.
Challenges Ninja, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so. And
that's
even
how I grew up with it, Shaolin Challenges Ninja. That was the Warner Brothers one. That's what I thought that film was called.
So did I. And
actually a good name for that film.
I think so. And also you had 8 Diagram Pole Fighters was used to be called Invincible Pole Fighters.
Pole Fighters, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Another good name for that film.
Yeah.
They ain't all good, but there's some that are good. It's still good. It's still a good name. Yeah.
Oh no, they're all good names. You know what I mean? And you look at the artwork and you judge whether the film was good or not half the time. Is it worth me getting this film out or not? Do you know what I mean? So
I know. I think I got to a stage where, as long as I could see it was a kung fu film, as in not an not an American ninja film, if you like, or a Van Damme. As long as I could see it was a kung fu film. I got it wrong sometimes, but then it didn't matter. I just went, well, I've got, I'll get it and I'll watch it and see what it's like. I definitely got done sometimes, and it weren't.
We all
I don't know what
it
was, Indian or something. There was often times when I'd get it and I'd go, that ain't a Hong Kong Chinese, because it was just weird. Yeah.
It was like some Indonesian sort of something that you think, they don't even look Chinese.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. But I didn't know, I didn't know what they were, and I don't think I know what they are now. But I've still got them. Some of these weird films. I can't remember. One of them was called Kung Fu Executioners or something like that. And we was always confused by this film, going, "Well, what is this? It's kind of a kung fu, but it's kind of not."
Yeah.
Don't feel the same. Not the same.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I think I got done like that way. It was, I can't remember what the title was called, but I know what it is now. It was an Italian version of a martial arts movie, but it was set in in the Philippines. And it was
good.
terrible. It was a terrible movie.
Italian martial arts movie. It sounds amazing.
Well, it was funded by the Italians, and it had the star, I think, was Italian. And I can't remember, he went over to the Philippines or Malaysia or somewhere like that, and he got involved in the martial arts. And it was like a cheap version of Karate Kid, but the choreography was awful. Do you know what I mean? The guy barely knew how to kick, and you know what I mean? So it's like,
you think it's a kung fu in the end, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then you had the flip side where you'd go to the local video store and he'll go, I recommend you this. And you'd be highly surprised. I think that happened to me on a few occasions when I first got into the Venoms. I think the first Venom film I saw was Shaolin Rescuers.
Excellent.
I thought it was brilliant. Do you know what I mean?
It is brilliant. Excellent. Yeah. What a great introduction to it. Yeah,
the music to it is fantastic. Do you know what I mean? That's
got the red background opening, isn't it?
Yes.
The iron ring on the head.
Yes, it is.
Let's try and get the music.
That's the one. You're brilliant. Brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
Yes. That's the one. That's the one.
Big metal ring on the head. Then it will kick off again. Yeah.
Oh, superb movie. Do you know what I mean? Even we look at the Venoms, even changed the spectrum of kung fu movies when they turned up. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? There always seems to be a stage. I mean, you could say with kung fu movies, you can say, okay, I love the Jackies, I love the Samurai, I love the MBL, I love Shaw Brothers. Then you go into Shaw Brothers, you go, I love T Long. Do you know what I mean? I loved, David Chang. Do you know what I mean? Or I love the Venoms. Do you know what I mean? There's always something for somebody. Do you know what I mean? It's I mean, you look.
Exactly.
You mean probably one of an epic kung fu movie from the Shaw Brothers, Shaolin Temple, had absolutely everybody in it. Do you know what I mean? It's just
There you go. Yeah. Everyone.
yeah.
Wong Wei, David
Yeah.
Chang. God, bloody hell. Gok Choi's in it. You know, Ko Chu. He's in there.
Yeah.
Doing
Philip
the light.
Kwok.
It's got loads of people in that, isn't it?
Li Yiman is also in it. Very young Li Yiman.
He's in it. Yeah.
Fu Sheng.
Is he doing? Is Li Yimin doing the pole with the rice? Is that?
Yes. He's the guy who's thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I staring rice all the time? Do you know what I mean? And he's got the chain round him, hasn't he?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have that, the light skills bloke. It's brilliant, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good film. Yeah, love that.
That's what you class as an epic. Do you know what I mean? It's,
it is. Do you remember the American title for it?
Oh, what was it called? Shaolin Chambers of Death?
Close. Chambers in it.
Yeah, okay.
Death Chamber, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I think.
Definitely. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Like that,
But in all fairness, I always knew it as Shaolin Temple.
Yeah. We actually got the good real title for that one. I think that's just the name of that film.
Yeah.
When we finally got the Hong Kong version of it, it was called Shaolin Temple. So
yeah.
Brilliant. But then that got us confused because remember in Jet Li brought out a film called Shaolin Temple. So a lot of the times I would say, "Oh, Shaolin Temple," and they'd go, "Yeah, I've seen it," you know, and they'd describe it, and it'd be the Jet Li one. I'd be, "No, not that one, this one," which a lot of people hadn't seen.
Yeah,
even though Warner Brothers did bring that out as well.
They did. Apparently, Warner Brothers have got rights to quite a few kung fu movies, but they're just sitting on them. They're not doing anything with them. Do you know what I mean? So, you mean they got? I think they hold the rights to Pedicab Driver, don't they?
Oh, do they? Oh, blimey.
Yeah, I believe they do. Yeah, and Blade of Fury.
Okay, that's a Sammo. Is that a Sammo one?
Yeah, Sammo Hung directed, and he just did a little cameo bit in it, didn't he? So,
yeah. Okay.
Again,
I think Tariq said to me the other day that there's a decent version of Pedicab that was released in the States, and I asked him about it because I don't have it, and he said it was about 5 years ago or something. So we'll have to ask him about that and try and get.
I've got a DVD version of it that was released by Warner Brothers. It's only subbed, and I think one of the things I didn't like about it was not the quality is perfect. I think the subbing was the subbing was done like for the hard of hearing.
Oh, so it tells you everything, knocking on the door and
yeah. If I recall correctly, do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that was released by Warner Brothers, but it was literally just a movie, nothing else.
But not here though.
I don't know whether it was released here or not.
Can't be. I'm sure. I mean, I'd have it. I love that film. I was always searching for it.
Do you know
what region it is?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I mean, because I've transferred everything to a hard drive media player now because I was just having too much stuff in it, and it's all up in a loft.
Well, I know it's a shame, isn't it? But that's what can we do? It's that or get rid. I mean, get him rid. So yeah.
No. You can't get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what I mean? It just seems like every time something comes out, then like the beauty of I suppose 88 films in Eureka, they're remastering a lot of these films now, which is lovely to watch. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen so many bad copies of films. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that is a new subject.
Yeah. Well,
you just said the but there, so I'm thinking you have some reservations, complaints about these boutique Blu-rays. Maybe I don't know.
Well, sometimes they're too good picture. I like a little bit of grain. Do you know what I mean? I like to.
People hear that they must think we're so stupid. The qual was too good.
It sounds bizarre, doesn't it? It does sound bizarre.
It does. I get it. I mean, obviously, I get it. Yeah.
But that's the same with spaghetti westerns. I mean, there's no way I could watch. I mean, I do have a Blu-ray version of like the Sergio Leone stuff. But I think they've just done it right where it's still got a bit of the grain. Do you know what I mean? It still looks fantastic. Do you know what I mean?
It's Western. It's great dirt.
Yeah. Right, do you know what I mean? We need some of that. It shouldn't be sharp as possible. Do you know what I mean? Leave that for the modern day.
Like a film.
Yeah.
right? We
Do you know
want
what
to
I mean?
be lost in the whole thing. We want to forget that it's a film. We want to be
Yes,
engrossed in it, lost in it. It's
of
too
course, of
cold.
course.
It's a film, you know. Something you've been set up. That's it.
Yes, you are. Do you know what I mean? Maybe the new generation of fans, because they haven't seen what we've seen. Do you know what I mean? They might love it. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So, but you know, you look at
Well, I
stuff
don't know
like
if there's any new generation of fans buying those films. I'm not saying there isn't. I said I don't know. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. How
I
do you get a 25-year-old to buy, I don't know, Snake and Eagle Shadow then? Or if they release Pedicab Driver, who's buying it? You're buying it. I'm buying it. Are they
yeah,
buying it?
you're right.
They
You're
might. I
right.
don't know. Are they? They're
I
buying
don't
Marvel
know.
films and I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose they do. It's actually, you know what? You're right, because you go to the showings and you don't
Right?
see many young people there. We're all of a
Right?
certain generation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. And
Do
you
you
know,
know-
and then if there is the odd young one there, which there is,
Mm,
when they bring out, I don't know, whatever it is, an old Shaw Brothers film, they bring
yeah,
out Monkey Kung Fu, for example,
yeah.
are they buying Monkey Kung Fu? Well,
Mm,
probably not. Now, going to those showings and watching some of these old films, you know, they'll
yeah,
be watching Twilight of the Warriors, and then the other day they'll be watching Drunken Master. That
yeah,
might pique their interest and go, all right, let's look at
yeah,
other films from around this time or whatever. So it's possible. And then when they do, they can
yeah,
go and get a pristine 88 films qual, or
yeah,
they pick up the Eureka version of Drunken Master and have a
yeah,
crapped up, or they pick up Snake and Eagle Shadow from 88
yeah,
films and it's
yeah,
got the animal bit cut out of it. It's
yeah,
got opening with the wicked music on the Sephirim Karalexis opening with the music with a dun 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 dun. It's
yeah,
got that as an extra, but it's not
yeah.
on the film. It's just, to me, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's not. That's not my version, ain't it?
No, it's not my budget, and I think this is where the people that remaster this stuff and do it are forgetting what the fans remember. Do you know what I mean? And what we like. There's let's take, we take Drunken Master for example. By them not having that rank dub in there, it ruins it. Do you know what I mean?
They don't know. Then that's it. To me, the wrong people. The wrong people got the license for that to bring it out. It's the
Yeah,
wrong people.
yeah, definitely. And I've never understood why they feel they need to redub stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, I don't get it, right? Oh, they redub these films, but people like the old dubbing, but they redub these films because they're not politically correct.
Yeah,
And I think to myself, where's what's not politically correct in the original Drunken Master? And
yeah,
then we just watched the new dub of Drunken
yeah,
Master cinema, and that had way more cursing and cussing in it than
yeah,
the
yeah,
original. That was
definitely.
worse.
You know what I mean? But it's the
It
fans
had
not.
Chinese accents in it.
Yeah,
English people doing Chinese accents. To me, the accents were way worse. It's like, what?
yes.
This is
I,
more. If you ask me which one is more politically incorrect, it'd be the new one. That's
Of
just
course,
my opinion.
always. That's why sometimes, I mean, the old school dubbing has a certain amount of nostalgia in it. And you mean, I remember as a young kid, you mean, I didn't even dawn on me that at first time that it was dubbed. I just thought, well, all
Right?
Chinese people speak like
I
that.
didn't know.
Do
I didn't know it was
you,
dubbed.
yeah. Do you know
The
what I mean?
thing is, when you look into it a bit more and you look and you read into it and you dig out interviews and you find bits about it,
Mm,
these people that dubbed these films,
mm.
yeah, a lot of people look on it as a joke, but it was legitimate business for them. They
Yes,
really did try to find words and use phrases that synced with the mouths. They
yes,
spent hours doing it. They actually, I know a lot of people go, "Oh, they were just having a laugh and this and the other." No, they
yeah,
took it serious. That stuff is dubbed very well, I think. Certain characters. So a little
yeah,
character, he'll have a little type
yeah,
voice. You know what I mean?
yeah.
To me, you can see they thought about it. They've got character. Chan's voice is
Yeah.
brilliant. And they
Yes, yes,
often use the same Chan voice. That's the Chan Inga's dub voice. And I
yes.
grew up with that voice and I loved that voice. It was good.
Yeah. What do you mean? I think even if you go further than that, I think generally that at that time, all sort of industries, if a film was to be dubbed, a certain person would always dub a certain person's voice.
That's
Do
right.
you know what I mean? Like you said, I mean it'd be Jackie Chan would always be dubbed by the same person, and I think the
Yeah.
same was done with South Asian movies. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
if it was they would have a certain person. I don't believe they were dubbed in English, but you know, they always went into a song and dance. It'd always be the same person that sung their songs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. And it's the same with Bud Spencer, right? Terence Hill
Yes.
speak English, it was often his voice, but Bud Spencer, I
Yeah.
never knew it weren't his voice, because guess what? It was the same bloke every time. And then I watched I'd see another Italian film, and it'd
Yeah.
have the Bud Spencer voice in it, and I'd go, "Oh my god, it's the Bud voice!"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They did that. Thomas Millian, he was
Yes.
famous for saying, when these films are dubbed into English,
Yeah.
I want the same person. He said, part of my contract is
Like
the
this.
same person every time. And that's because he knew
Yes.
what it meant.
Do you know what I
And
mean?
he was a big star.
It was.
He was the diva version, right?
Yeah.
They knew if Millian's in it, it's
Yeah.
going to make money. And he knew that. So that's why
Yes.
he went, I'm going to smash an hunchback on in this one. And I want the same dubber. And he wrote loads of the lines himself. He said, oh, that bloke wouldn't say that. He'd say this. And
Yeah.
he forced that onto him. And guess what? The films are brilliant. The characters are brilliant. He is brilliant.
Yeah,
He
like
made them good.
yeah. Well, like we said before, when the star understands his audience, yeah, when the star understands his audience, understand who he's sending the movie to, becomes a great movie. Do you know
That's
what I mean?
right. It's real. It's legit from him,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
he's not faking anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's giving
Definitely.
you
Definitely.
him. If you get it, you get it. And if you don't,
Yeah.
you don't. But he comes first. And
Mm.
if you get it, you go, yeah. But he understands his audience, but he also has to understand himself first.
Yeah.
Then the people come and they go, we like this. And then he
Yeah.
just gives us more of it. But it's easy for him to give us more of it because it was genuine in the first place.
Well, you went to see a Jackie Chan movie because it was a Jackie Chan movie, because Jackie Chan. You went and saw Sammo Hung because it was Sammo Hung. When it was Yen Biao, it was Yen Biao. Do you know what I mean? He's like, boom, I know what I want. He knows what I want. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the performance. Do you know what I mean?
Which is why you loved the films, which is why you couldn't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Because you were getting more. That's why when you got Protector and Big Brawl, you went, something's not right here. You know?
Yes.
You knew.
You knew. They're changing. Yeah, of course, of course.
You liked those films, but you knew that something was missing. You knew.
You Huang Zhangli, as a bad guy, you knew exactly what you got. You loved it. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Loved Hitman and Hand of Buddha.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but as the hero and no moustache, it was like,
I couldn't agree more. I do like that film, but you're absolutely bang on with that. Yes, it's good, but it is definitely one of my worst Wang Zhangli's because he's got, first off, exactly right. He ain't got no tosh. Terrible. And he's not a baddie.
Yeah.
It's,
do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
good.
He's good. And let's take Wang Zhangli in The Kid from Kwantung.
Yes, that's right. Shaw Brothers film. Is that Shaw Brothers film? It is, yeah?
Yeah. I believe he only did 2 Shaw Brothers movies, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I can't remember the name of the other one.
I can't remember, but it was very sort of like, I want to say, it was more spiritual, like the ghost kind of.
Can and all that at the beginning. Something's going on. Yeah. Remember the opening.
But apparently he only did 2 films with them because he couldn't get along with Mona Fong.
Oh yes, she's the big time producer. Yeah.
Wife
of Run Shaw, right? I think.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So what can we do?
Probably didn't want to live in them dorms in there, you know.
Probably. Apparently, it was all about money. Do you know what I mean? So
he's getting a bit too big for his boots, was he?
Well, I think he wanted to get paid, and they were kind of holding back on the money. They kind of had a disagreement. So I don't know how true the rumors are. The rumor I heard was he wanted to get paid. They were arguing over it, and apparently Mona Fong phoned somebody, and they go, "It's Huang Zhangli. You better pay him."
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. He does spin kicks and
So I don't know.
You don't get up. You don't get up if you get hit with one of them.
No, you don't. You mean I think even Sylvia Rothrock said he kicks like a mule because he apparently in one scene he kicked a solid in the chest. Do you know what I mean? He goes, he's just solid. You know what I mean? So he never holds back.
That's good.
Yeah, that's probably what sold it because he didn't hold the technique back. If it caught you, and it just looked real, and it was real, I suppose.
Yeah, well, in that film, you'd understand it because Sammo, he's quite, known for having some real connections in his films.
Yeah. He's
Probably like Bang Lee for that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean?
We'll leave it there, mate, because
Oh,
when I said we were going to leave it, we ended up doing more chats. But listen, I'm happy with it. I love the chats.
Definitely. And we've got to do it again.
Yes.
Because we've got lots more subjects to discuss, I suppose.
Loads, exactly. Like you said earlier, we only I don't know if you used the word scratch the surface, but that's what you were saying. Yeah, we've only tipped the iceberg or whatever.
Right, that was it, yeah.
Well, there you go. They're both the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Seriously though, mate, I would really appreciate if you did come back on. I really appreciate that you have agreed to come back on.
Yeah, will do.
As soon as I spoke to you for just that little bit at Peter's birthday, I went, nah, man, these are the chats I love. So thanks for saying because some people, a lot of people do, but a lot of people, they don't want to. They want to be a Yumbio and they don't want to be on camera and they don't want to do the chats. But this is what I like. I just like-minded, normal blokes chatting about the Kungs. So thanks for saying, thanks for doing it.
I know. Anytime. I'm glad you've asked me to come on. It's
wicked.
I don't know, it's you know what? When you first told me about it, I thought, you know what? That's absolutely fantastic because let's not deny the fact Kung Fu's a niche. Do you know what I mean? And I believe we're a dying breed. So
but we're still here chatting about it.
Definitely. Let's leave some more for the next time.
Yeah, but you're saying that because of the new films and the golden era, and
you know what you say the new films, you say the golden era, but I think we still got loads to talk about. I suppose next time we could bring the subject of Fu Sheng up.
We can bring Fu Sheng up. Yeah.
So
plenty more to discuss. I've really enjoyed the chat. I knew I would because, like I said, I was only going to have a chat. I said to you, we'll just turn the camera on and have a chat. So I've enjoyed it as much as I thought I would enjoy it.
So have I.
Good. No, I'm glad, man. I've loved it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. As I say, see you soon.
Yes, exactly. See you later, man. Thanks very much, Mo.
Cheers, Thank you. Yeah. Take care, buddy. See ya. Bye.
Thanks for watching.